take more accurate readings than the meters of SML. These are the readings that are used for tax and revenue purposes and not the readings by the SML meters.
From the engineering perspective, if you have contact meters and non-contact meters, which of these two is likely to give you a more accurate reading?
Okay, so the contact meters are always the best.
We also know that the depots, they have the contact meters.
Yes.
You've alluded to the fact that the contact meters
Are the best.
are the best.
So, if the SML meters are less accurate and their readings are not the ones used for tax purposes by the GRA, can SML claim credit for the revenue increment in the sector? Purposes by the GRA, can SML claim credit for the revenue increment in the sector?
If you look at what NPA is doing tank gauging and also metering, it is even much more sophisticated than what SML is doing. On top of that, they also have tank tracking. They're able to track the volumes on every tank from the depot to the filling station. If all of that is not addressing the leakages that we do have, just having electronic seals at the depot wouldn't be a more effective way to ensure that revenue is actually generated from the downstream sector.
The Fourth Estate also confronted the managing director of SML with the figures the company churned out as savings it made because of its operations. First was the claim in April 2021 that SML saved the state 1 billion Ghana cedis due to its operations.
If you use the 2019 as a base,
Yes. Yes.
subtract this one, you get 1 billion for 2020.
It's 800 million.
Okay, about 800 million. Okay.
Yes.
The company started operations in 2020. From the revenue figures we obtained from the GRA, the difference in the total revenue from the downstream petroleum sector between 2019 and 2020 is 800 million cedis. If all the increment was attributed to the work of the company, it will still fall short of the 1 billion cedis it claimed to have saved. In February 2023, SML Ghana Limited again claimed that it had saved 3 billion cedis due to its operations. The company has admitted the services it listed on its website as curtailing irregularities in the sector did not exist and deleted them from the website. Even if SML was carrying out those services and all the incremental revenue within the period of its operations was credited to the company's efforts, the amount would be 2.4 billion cedis and not 3 billion cedis as it claimed to have saved. When we put these figures to the managing director, he made a shocking admission.
That's why that 3 billion, I'm not. That's why I told you from the beginning. I said I don't know about this 3 billion.
We cannot say your intervention saved 3 billion.
No, I said 3 billion. I'm not. I've told you that I'm not aware, because when we were told about the publication, we even called the.
As we speak this morning, still on your website.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. In fact, to be honest, I don't even know website matter.
Despite evidence that SML Ghana lied about the services it renders to the state and the amount of money it claimed to have saved, the finance minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, this year decided that the company's contract should be expanded to cover the gold mining sector and the upstream petroleum production sector in Ghana. A contract cited by the Fourth Estate shows that SML Ghana is entitled to $0.75 per barrel of oil produced in Ghana. Ghana currently produces between 160,000 and 170,000 barrels of oil per day. The country is expected to add an additional 80,000 barrels per day from the Pecan oil fields, which is expected to be developed a little over a year from now. The company is also entitled to 0.75% of the total volume of gold produced in the country. Ghana last year produced 3.7 million ounces of gold. What this means is that per current arrangement, SML Ghana is entitled or will be paid over $100 million every year. This contract is for 10 years. The Ministry of Finance, the GRA, are yet to respond to our right to information request on these contracts. The regulator of the upstream sector, the Petroleum Commission, has however said it knows nothing about this contract. The Petroleum Commission also says it has no report on leakages or loss of revenue in the upstream sector. The reason this company is employed or contracted to monitor.
Recently, Tullow, installed new metering systems that were calibrated by the Standards Authority. Is Finance Ministry saying that those metering systems went wrong, or is that the feedback they got from the Standards Authority that the meters that are already in place have problems? That requires that we bring in SML to now be the one that can accurately monitor petroleum production.
When asked what his advice to the Commissioner General of the GRA on the SML contracts would be if he was still the technical advisor, Mr. Soti said he could not answer.
That is not a question for me to answer. I'm not.
How do you charge?
Made the following claim to back its operations. Quote, the leakages in this sector are due to diversion of petroleum products for
that is a very, very categorical statement, and I think we all need to verify the veracity of that. I think the question of taxes can be an independent question, not linked to that. We have proposed a number of taxes that you are aware of that would affect petroleum, which would lead to revenue for a Delta Fund for energy, for capacity charges, because we continue to have a gap between what ECG should be paying and what the rates are. So that was one, to make sure that we get the energy sector operational. We also have a huge sanitation problem that you all know about, and I think that is a health hazard for the years ahead, and therefore we are trying to. But the essence of the budget, when we say one year here, is that it's a battle cry for us to join together to look at growth and transformation as opposed to bend our heads down because of COVID. And the question is whether we can bear and share and therefore move to sharing the opportunities.
We believe in lower taxes as a government for industry, and we are working others aggressively with the GRA and to be cemented with the Standing Committee of the Mutual Prosperity Dialogue. Mr. Speaker, further to the above, the following reliefs have been prioritized for implementation. To extend, Mr. Speaker, the zero rate of VAT on locally manufactured African prints for 2 more years. Mr. Speaker, to waive import duties on import of electric vehicles for public transportation for a period of 8 years. Mr. Speaker, to waive import duties on semi-knocked down and completely knocked down electric vehicles imported by registered EV assembly companies in Ghana for a period of 8 years. Mr. Speaker, to extend zero rate of VAT on locally assembled vehicles for 2 more years. Mr. Speaker, to zero rate VAT on locally produced sanitary pads. Mr. Speaker, to grant import duty waivers for raw materials for the local manufacture of sanitary pads. Mr. Speaker, to grant exemptions on the importation of agricultural machinery equipment and inputs and medical consumables, raw materials for the pharmaceuticals industry. Mr. Speaker, a VAT flat rate of 5% to replace the 15% standard VAT rate on all commercial properties will be introduced to simplify administration.
Girlfriends will leave you because you cannot afford to take that girlfriend to a restaurant. They say, Kofi, since I have been with you for years, you can never take me out to a restaurant. So some of us, we end up taking the girlfriends to the restaurants, and that day we tell them that we are fasting. Our church is fasting because we want to just save, because we have come with only 100 cedis. So we said, no. We are fasting, our church is fasting, but since you have been, I want to just take you and do your show. And then you buy the plate of rice, buy the plate of drink, and then give out. And this is what is happening all over. So restaurants have become dry. The number of plates they sell in a day has become dry. As for hotel is a luxury. Now the government has given directives that conferences should be held within their premises so they don't go to private sector. So what happened to those people in that industry? So it cuts all across. You have some of the shopping malls. And very soon you hear what one of the biggest shopping malls in the country is going to fold up because of overtaxation. Girlfriends will leave you because
we will eliminate import duties on sanitary pads to improve health conditions, particularly for girls. It's very important, but what we want to really do is to make sure we produce the sanitary pads in Ghana. Until that happens in their numbers, we are going to eliminate the import duties to bring down the cost.
You know, and even savings. There was a 1% imposition on savings, which was later withdrawn.
On investments,
on
yes.
investments, which was later. I mean, even to think about it it's
been suspended.
It's been suspended. I mean, but even to think about it.
Oh, it's now abolished, is it?
Okay. Yeah, but even to think about it, it doesn't. It just questions who are making these policies. I mean,
but isn't it just another way?
Another way of raising revenue.
Well, yes,
but when you become desperate, this is what happens. That when you've mismanaged the economy into this hole, then anything sounds great to you because you don't have any option. You see what I mean? And this is the problem, that anything that is taxable, that can feasibly be taxed, they are trying to impose taxes on it, increasing withholding, taxes on withholding, and so on. All of these are hurting. They are hurting the economy. These taxes are hurting, and therefore you are not going to get the growth. And when you don't get the growth, you will not get the revenue. And when you don't get the revenue, you go back to increasing taxes to get the revenue, and then you are in a cyclical down.
Why should we pass a law imposing tax on sanitary pads? This is unconscionable. It's a cardinal sin. The House shouldn't have allowed it at all. This House shouldn't have allowed it. You know the impact of that law on the human resource development and on the development of this country. It's immeasurable. That is why I suspended sitting and had to attend to them. I have a copy of the petition, and we have to take immediate action to prevent whoever is the minister proposing that thing to take it off. The next budget, it must not appear, it cannot be a tax. Please, I take a very serious view on this matter. Why should we pass a law imposing tax on sanitary pads? This is unconscionable. It's a cardinal sin. The House shouldn't have allowed it at all. This House shouldn't have allowed it. You know the impact of that law on the human resource development and on the development of this country. It's immeasurable. That is why I suspended sitting and had to attend to them. I have a copy of the petition, and we have to take immediate action to prevent whoever is the minister proposing that thing to take it off. The next budget, it must not appear, it cannot be a tax. Please, I take a very serious view on this matter.
Nana Akufo-Addo has made it very clear that his government is going to build a globally competitive economy. We have not really been thinking global, and this is what we need to do, that we have to understand that we are in competition with other countries, and investment moves from country to country, so we have to think global. And so, the Nana Akufo-Addo policy, which he stated, is just basically to build the most people-friendly and the most business-friendly economy in Africa. This is the goal that we are going to try to do, the most people-friendly and the most business-friendly. The tax issue is a major issue, because if you are so, fixated on revenue, you will essentially end up hurting your production. And so if you go back into history, you study the economic history of United States, Germany, England, all of them have used the tax, policy to encourage production. And this is why we are saying that, today you have a situation in Ghana, unbelievable situation, when businesses are out on strike. Businesses who should be selling are out on strike. Why are they out on strike? Because they've been overburdened by taxes, and if you don't take care, you'll be chasing the tax revenue and killing businesses. And when you kill businesses, it means you are causing unemployment. And so if you go back, this is why Nana Akufo-Addo is saying, we need to mobilize financial resources. So why are you going to be imposing VAT on financial services? It doesn't make sense in a country which has got a very large unbanked population, and we want people to bank. We will abolish that, he says. We will abolish import duty on all raw materials, because that has been a policy that will help production. Let the businesses produce. Let them make profit. And when they make profit and employ people, we will get income taxes and we will get corporate taxes. So you don't go ahead to kill the business. No, let them bring in the raw materials. Let them produce. Then you will tax, at the end of the day. And I think that you have a government where you have cutlasses being taxed, condoms being taxed, and even savings. There was a 1% imposition on savings, which was later withdrawn.
On investments, yes.
On investments, which was later. Even to think about it was, and even savings. There was a 1% imposition on savings, which was later withdrawn.
On investments,
on
yes.
investments, which was later. Even to think about it it's
been suspended.
It's been suspended. But even to think about it.
Oh, it's now abolished, is it?
Okay. Yeah, but even to think about it, it just questions who are making these policies.
But isn't it just another way?
Another way of raising revenue.
Well, yes,
but when you become desperate, this is what happens, that when you've mismanaged the economy into this hole, then anything sounds great to you because you don't have any option. You see what I mean? And this is the problem, that anything that is taxable, that can feasibly be taxed, they are trying to impose taxes on it, increasing withholding, taxes on withholding, and so on. All of these are hurting. They are hurting the economy. These taxes are hurting, and therefore you are not going to get the growth. And when you don't get the growth, you will not get the revenue. And when you don't get the revenue, you go back to increasing taxes to get the revenue, and then you are in a cyclical down.
This country called Ghana and all the resources we have. Now, government doesn't even see anywhere to tax. They are taxing our electricity also. Tomorrow they will tax our water. And we are not going to sit down for that to continue. That's why I'm saying you are going to have baptism of fire. We need to fight it until this thing is cancelled. And that is the immediate thing. How can you add this to the problems that we have in this country? The lifeline they are talking about is just 30 kWh. 30. It used to be 50. They brought it down to 30. And if you have 2 light bulbs in your house, 2, and you have television, and if you leave the television on for more than 5 hours, you will pay this tax. If you have fridge, you are out. You are going to pay the tax on the fridge. Why should this happen in this country? Tomorrow, if we don't resist this, tomorrow they will come and tax water. They will say there's a lifeline. This lifeline that they are talking about is 2 bulbs. Part of television, maybe half television. And if you switch on your fridge, you pay this VAT. This law was passed in 2013. Why is it that all these governments have not implemented it? Why is it that we are allowing IMF to dictate to us to implement this law now? So, comrades, you have been elected at a time that there's a big fight on our hands, and we are going to fight it until we win.
Why should we pass a law imposing tax on sanitary pads? This is unconscionable. It's a cardinal sin. The House shouldn't have allowed it at all. This House shouldn't have allowed it. You know the impact of that law on the human resource development and on the development of this country. It's immeasurable. That is why I suspended sitting and had to attend to them. I have a copy of the petition, and we have to take immediate action to prevent whoever is the minister proposing that thing to take it off. The next budget, it must not appear, it cannot be a tax. Please, I take a very serious view on this matter.
What is the difference between the ordinary thief and a political thief? Number one, the ordinary thief steals your money, your bag, your watch, and your jewelry, isn't it? But the political thief steals your future, your career, your education, your health, and your business. Number two, the hilarious part is that the ordinary thief will choose whom to rob. But you are the one who choose the political thief to rob you. Because we choose them. We vote them. We blindly say we are not blind. Who is deceiving who? The ridiculous part of the whole issue is that we will fight to defend and protect our belongings from the ordinary thief. Is it not? But we fight each other to defend and protect the political thief. Is that not what we do? Thugs will be fighting themselves to protect those that are stealing our career, stealing our joy, stealing our health, stealing our success. What a shame.
If you reach a certain stage in life and there is nobody who can look you in the eye and tell you the truth, you are doomed. And that is where our country has gotten to. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi. And I feel very terrible as a Ghanaian at this time. This country is in serious trouble, ladies and gentlemen. We are in serious trouble. We need to rescue this country, ladies and gentlemen. The presidency has been so depraved, so muddied, so dirtied, that I tell you in all sincerity as a Ghanaian, that I feel terribly sad today as a Ghanaian. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi. Inshallah.
Please don't cry.
We shall rescue our country.
Government is broke, government is broke. But people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
Right, hello, good morning and welcome to the show. This is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. It's a Thursday, the first day of February 2024. By His grace, we are live and we're here with yet another edition of the show. Our gratitude will go to Most High God for the rare privilege of being alive and, of course, the opportunity of having another conversation around the top stories making the rounds here in our dear Republic. I'll let you into our panel for the morning's conversation shortly. Let's take a look at the front pages of our newspapers. Daily Graphic. Centenary celebration. Kolebu upgrades 30 wards. Condom use among polygamous persons low, health survey. Stanbic boss urges graduates to embrace discovery. UK backs Ghana on adhering to IMF conditions. Be flexible, make election outcome acceptable to all, Professor Ayi urges EC. PAC proposes third layer to validate salaries of GES staff. The Ghanaian Times. At Africa-Italy Summit 2024, President rallies African leaders' support for AFCFTA, calls for efforts to unlock $450 billion for continent. Don't transfer project funds into MP's personal accounts. MP secures injunction against declaration of Wale parliamentary primary result. 5 groups demand 60% district assembly appointees as women. Chiefs visit La General Hospital construction site. Daily Guide. New, in quote, EC reforms will bring chaos, Mahama. Cozy continues her good gestures. Most young women having raw sex, GSS. Major Mahama trial catalyst for change. British government applauds Ghana. The New Crusading Guide. Time for cooperation and commitment. Let's rally behind Bawumia Mbreku Duka. School feeding caterers agitate over arrears. Asebu farmers fight encroachers, plead for government intervention as developers ignore court order. NDC supporters rally behind Leslie Mensah Tamaklo as potential running mate for John Mahama. Government initiates measures to reform judiciary, AG. Residents flee from deadly ECG transformer at Ashoma. The Insight. Day of Shame. SMG to observe Nkrumah's overthrow with newest publication of US declassified documents. Ghana Federation of Labour calls to increase retirement age from 60 to 65. NDC supporters rally behind Leslie Mensah Tamaklo as potential running mate to John Mahama. Farmers in Asebu plead for intervention as developers ignore court order. International Court of Justice censures Israel for its genocidal war in Gaza. The Daily Statesman. Aid can't solve Africa's problems. Akufo-Addo says continent's prosperity will benefit the whole world. GGSA to modernize earthquake monitoring system. Dr. Fred Che Asamoah urges NPP unity for 2024 victory. Ghana seals automotive tech agreement with UK. Abinose Asari, our focus is to make Bawumia president. The New Finder. FSRP to roll out 2 million broiler projects driven by ECOWAS World Bank funding. NPA revises mode of LPG importation to reduce cost and improve efficiency. Jinapo 6 large-scale miners for dollar power. Daily Post. I am against LGBTQ+, Mahama declares. Ghana's lowest AFCON budget is $3.4 million approved by NDC in 2016, Sami Jemfi. Forgive me for rejecting you, Anum Chief to Mahama. And that's about it. For the front pages, we'll be back shortly.
So many styles to choose, but there's only one sure way to pay. Momo? Yes. Oh yes. Got a payment to make? Just Momo it.
MTN. Discover the perfect blend of quality, modern elegance, and affordability with Kingdom Home Real Estate. At Kingdom Home Real Estate, we cater to both local and international clients, offering exceptional housing options in Ebri and Ekropong. Our properties are conveniently located, providing a tranquil atmosphere, top-notch security, and essential amenities such as electricity, water, and backup generators. Our strategic locations offer easy access to popular tourist destinations, all within a 30-minute drive from Accra. Visit us in Ekropon right after the Latte Junction or in Ebri near the Ebri Girls Senior High School. Alternatively, you can reach us Kingdom Home Real Estate, where your dream home becomes a reality.
Enjoy the fruits of your labor, they say. But as humans, aging and physical infirmity stands our way of enjoying our mansions and homes. It often becomes challenging, if not impossible, to use our stairways day in, day out. With portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators, PVs, you are assured of unlimited enjoyment of your mansions and homes. It's a self-supported elevator for vertical movement of humans and goods at homes and offices. The original comes in 3 custom-made models with wheelchair accessibility. Call it luxury, but it's a necessary imperative for vertical mobility. Do not let aging or infirmity limit you. Get one for your easy vertical mobility at home. It's affordable and can be installed in just 3 days without modification to your existing building. It's however easier to incorporate it at the construction stage. We also have traditional Fuji elevators and escalators for your high-rise buildings and malls. Visit Lifts and Elevators Company Limited at Sakumono for your elevators nationwide. For free consultation to call or WhatsApp us on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators, the elevator people.
For over 20 years of serving the world with herbal and alternative medicine, we've been successful in treating complicated medical conditions with a perfect combination of herbal and alternative methods of treatments like homeopathy, naturopathy, reflexology, and many more. We deliver excellent and effective service to people from all walks of life through scientific and traditional means. We have a well-equipped laboratory with advanced diagnostic and treatment devices to help detect your illness, so we know the right medication to be given. At Amen Scientific Herbal and Alternative Medical Hospital, we are proud manufacturers of our own herbal medication. Our zeal and passion to save lives with our patients at heart and outstanding achievements since 1996 has won us several awards. That is why we say, go herbal, go Amen. We are located everywhere in all the regions. Amen Scientific Herbal and Alternative Medical Hospital. Allahu Shafi, God is the He.
On my long and stressful days, I long for the refreshing company of my favorite companion.
Wow, my favorite.
Tomato onions, maybe tomatoes.
Hi. Oh, hello. Please, I need to know the drink you were enjoying earlier at the shop.
Sure. Even on Sundays in the market, nothing is for one.
Makuma Swadi.
Guess what I brought? A refreshing companion for you and I.
My favorite.
Angel Drinks. Nyamepe, Nyawenijhu.
This advert is FDA approved.
Everything 12 January, I copy say about Afcon every year. My Afcon and Soja call. I will feel Hisense TV, Afcon TV, and a sound system. Yatisu say who? A Hisense Afcon double promo. The best you Afcon beer. Style of Afcon beer. Can clear our Hisense and the Afcon TV so. Sadonly Yedida. Let's a commentary no so Chagua. Clear our Hisense sound system so. Bora Hisense no bia. Na ube say yatete TV any sound system so. Esan Afcon ninti. Sa uto ade wa high sense ya. Wasu Jones high sense nko na ma 5 years manufacturer defect warranty. Sa Afcon radio. Yema ni je na anya double. If you say high sense mo hama mo. High sense. Ya de bona to football so. Esan football ninti. High sense she kakra wo ho.
We are back, bringing you the latest lineup from Betway. Betway starts strong with their front two, with Free Play Friday and Swipe Bet. In the middle, you've got all the control with Cash Out and Build a Bet. Plus, with Win Boost, you can boost your sports bets. At the back, they have Smart Picks and the Partial Daily Jackpot.
You always get way more with Betway.
And you can see.
These adverts have been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly. No under 18. Terms and conditions apply. Betway. Get way more.
The biggest car center in Ghana, offering unparalleled round-the-clock service in autos and accessories. Nadam Autofix is the biggest distributors of used tires in Ghana, offering first-grade second-hand car tires of all rim sizes at both wholesale and retail prices. We are also the leading name in car sensor diagnostics, corrections and sales of car accessories. We excel in car washing and detailing with state-of-the-art steam engine washing machines that keep water away from your engine, ensuring a clean, healthy and responsive engine. Nadam Autofix, the first name in servicing, car accessories and car washing. Visit us today and experience the world of class difference. Find us today at Asoridaho, directly opposite Dansoman KFC and the Shell filling station. For more details, you can call us on 0503 244 266 or 0535 339823. Nado Motofix. Wukwain Sunyonko Papa.
Star Assurance, your solid partner.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana Live on Metro TV with me on the show. This morning is the man who has a new dress code. Okay, so I'm sure that is a dress code that will be replicated across all media platforms pretty shortly, if it's not started already. He's the Director of Communications of the NPP, Richard Ayaba. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Right. And also with me on the show this morning, the man who has decided that he will not show respect to the elderly. And be asking the elderly personal questions. Very embarrassing personal questions. But he's also one of my members of parliament. Okay. The MP for the Ningo Pram constituency. The Honorable Samuel Nate. Good morning.
Randy, this one, there's nothing good about this morning.
Why?
This introduction, a man that doesn't respect the elderly.
It's a personal introduction.
No. Your introduction is very personal against me. I mean, this one. No, it's not. This is why my enemies have met you. They've seen you to destroy me. Honey, why?
I wanted you to have a taste of your own. Anyway, we'll be getting into the discussion.
There's something worrying me this morning.
Which one is that?
Something is about to happen at Ghana Water, and I want to beg my
At Ghana Water?
Yes. And your platform gets results. I want to beg Richard to get in touch with whoever is in charge at Ghana Water. They're about to stop using chlorine.
The MD is Engineer Brahma, right?
Engineer Brahma, yes. They're about to...
So let's get into
Is Honorable Afenyo still the board chair?
Yeah, I think I think it's Honorable Patrick.
Oh yeah, Patrick rather.
They are about to stop using chlorine.
Let's get back.
Treat our water.
We'll get back to it.
Randy, it's a serious matter.
We'll get back. We'll get back. I'll let you raise it.
You let me raise it.
I'll let you raise it.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Thank you.
Okay. So imagine getting rewarded for doing something you already do every single day. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, that's exactly what Momo Season is all about. There's something for everyone. Download the Momo app on Play Store or App Store and use Momo Pay for your day-to-day transactions to a merchant, either through the QR code or merchant ID, and stand a chance of winning 1,000 Ghana cedis weekly and other amazing prizes. Our merchants are also not left out of the reward. Receive payments and win. Keep using your Momo Pay on the Momo app and get rewarded. There are lots and lots of exciting prizes for everyone. So what are we doing today? Transact more with Momo Pay, earn more points, and win big this Momo season. Visit Momo Merchant application.mtn.com.gh for your Momo for Business account today. It's Momo season, so just Momo it with Momo Pay. Terms and conditions apply. And Kel Kids toothpaste flavored with strawberry that gives a perfect taste for kids and makes them develop a personal attitude and love for brushing their teeth always is what you need to get for your kids. Kel Kids toothpaste protects child's gum, prevents cavities, and makes the teeth strong and healthy with freshness all day. Kel Kids toothpaste is recommended for children between the ages of 2 and 6. It's a product from Samara Company Limited, producers of Sasso, and is approved by the Food and Drugs Authority. Kel Kids, happy smile. And from lifts and elevators, I introduce to you the best portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators on the market today. Well, they say enjoying the fruits of your labor is as important as enjoying the mansions of your labor, and pains of climbing the stairs when exercising could be challenging, and that is why you need to get this simple self-supported elevator for both homes and offices. And guess what? It can lift your goods too. Wheelchairs can fit in, and they come in 3 custom-made models. It's affordable and can be installed within 3 days. So visit Lift and Elevators at Sakumono, or just call them on 0200535515 or send a mail to elevatorsgh@gmail.com for consultations and the best solutions in easy vertical movements. Amen Scientific and Herbal Alternative Medical Hospital is organizing a free health screening now, and it's open to the general public. This is a way of saying thank you to Ghanaians. And they ask what's more rewarding than this. The free screening includes fertility tests, prostate, stroke, diabetes, hypertension, fibroid, ulcers, hepatitis B, and many more. Note that the medical screening is free, but patients with disease conditions will pay a token for their medications. Visit Amen Scientific at Domi, near the Snake Flats Down, or Klago near the Sherman Under Bridge, and all the other branches across the country. You can call Amen Scientific on 020-722-9505 or 0244-227192 to book your appointments. Amen Scientific and Alternative Medical Hospital. Allah Shafi, God is the healer. Right, today is the birthday of two persons. One is one of our best journalists, and also one of the best when it comes to the area of public relations in Ghana. Gehat Edem Mensah. Today is your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Gehat Edem Mensah. It's also the birthday of the man who seeks to restore the pride and representation of the people of Sal and beyond. That's the Guan constituency. Fred Agbenyo on the ticket of the NDC. Today is his birthday, so happy birthday to you. He's actually 48 today. So happy 48th birthday to you, Fred Agbenyo. And in the football circles, people associate him with Legon Cities is one of the directors. So happy birthday to you. Happy 48th birthday to you, Fred Agbenyo. Now, Sam, what is your issue with chlorine in Ghana?
Randy, in 1908, the colonial government introduced chlorine into the treatment of water in Ghana. And chlorine has been used to treat water across the world. In every Western jurisdiction, chlorine has been used. In Ghana, we've used chlorine without any problem. Then, Randy, somebody wakes up one day and decides that a product that has been refused by the UK and the US and most European countries, which is of Norwegian production or is manufactured by a Norwegian company, and Norway doesn't accept its use in the treatment of its water, is fit for use in Ghana. In fact, this whole thing started under the former Minister for Sanitation and Water Resources, Cecilia Dapa. And now they are going through, and in the next few weeks, in about 2 weeks, the first shipment of the product called One Drop is arriving in Ghana. And Ghana Water is buying it to stop the use of chlorine in the treatment of our water, to use One Drop.
So hold on a minute. When is Parliament returning from recess?
On Tuesday.
Okay, all right. So I'm sure that you're going to ask an agent question.
I will.
Okay. Now, two.
But this your platform is very powerful. Don't underestimate its power.
I will be the last person to do so.
Exactly.
And I'm not stopping you from doing that.
Sure.
Now, we know that per the law, per convention, per procedure, things like this must go through processes, whether it's FDA, Standards Authority, and all those things. And the propriety and efficacy ought to be established.
Yes.
And an approval must be given.
Yes.
For it to be used.
Yes.
Have you checked or have you tried to find out if indeed these processes have been adhered to? Have you bothered to find out the path we have traveled to get to this point? That is, if indeed, I want to take your word for it.
Randy, in all honesty, they have gotten approval, or it's been checked by CSIR.
Okay.
It's been checked by EPA.
Okay.
And I think the FDA.
Okay.
But it was checked when they brought it in.
No, just hold on.
Okay.
And all these three institutions, CSIR, EPA, FDA, did they approve it?
They approved it as a disinfectant.
Huh?
They approved it as a disinfectant.
Okay.
And so as we speak today, the product is used for cleaning in some hospitals and in Kotoka during the COVID time.
Well, chlorine can also be used for that.
Yes. But that's why this product was brought in and tested in our labs as a disinfectant during the COVID process and was used for cleaning, and is a perfect disinfectant for cleaning, not for water purification.
What will you say to those who say that chlorine is also a disinfectant?
Chlorine is also a disinfectant, but chlorine is specifically used for water purification. In fact, in the UK, there is an act of parliament that protects the use of chlorine for treatment of water after the 1858 pandemic, water pandemic in the UK. And in fact, you know who was the source of the water pandemic in the UK in 1858? The East London Water Company. Because the water company is the one that provides the water to the homes of people. And so after they realized the East London Water Company was responsible for the water pandemic in London, in the UK, in 1858, Parliament of UK passed a legislation mandating the sole use of chlorine. In the US, there is an act of Congress that mandates that you cannot change the purification agent for water in the US from chlorine without the Congress of Parliament working on it. In Ghana, we don't have such legislation. And that's why I'm calling on Engineer Brima and the people at Ghana Water, hastening slowly on picking. This thing is literally a sanitizer.
So what's your okay? So just
my issue
I want to
is,
understand what your issue is.
My issue is, Randy, chlorine has served us well. Even with chlorine, we are still dealing with some levels of contamination in our water. Now you are going to bring a product where the country the product is manufactured in, Norway. Norway has not approved its use in the purification of their water.
Is it used anywhere else? Or you are unaware?
As far as I'm aware, It is used in 2 other African countries.
Okay.
Only 2 other African countries.
Which countries?
I think Uganda and Rwanda.
Okay. And it's been used for how long?
About 1.5 years in those countries.
Okay. And they've not had any issues?
Well, none that I'm aware of. But Randy, Ghana, we cannot begin.
No, do you know why I am raising these issues?
I'm listening, Randy.
And I'm just asking the questions because I want to appreciate the issues. Now, the fact that we have used chlorine all this while does not mean that with the advancement of science and medicine and all those things, we will not be able to identify other chemicals that can be used for the same purpose.
Sure.
And so, yes, we've used chlorine since it was introduced. But it doesn't mean that at any point in time that we identify any other chemical which can do the same thing or a better job, and perhaps which is more affordable or maybe more efficacious, we should not try and use it.
Randy, I agree perfectly with you. But for me, I will hasten slowly as a consumer of public water.
Why?
Because I have a simple question. Norway has high ethical standards. Norway is a country that's very high on ethics. Why is it that Norway has not approved this product manufactured in their country for the purification of their public water? 1.
Maybe they're okay with what they use. They don't have a problem.
It's chlorine they use.
Okay.
It's chlorine they use. Okay. So if Norway is not okay with it, it's produced in their own country, why should we be guinea pigs? Secondly, why has the US and the UK not approved this use for the treatment of their water?
So just hold on.
And this has been pitched in all of those countries I mentioned.
What you mentioned,
yes.
Is it a brand name?
Yes, the brand name is One Drop.
So is it possible that the active agent in that product is chlorine?
No. In fact, I have their fact sheet where they do what they call an analysis between the product and chlorine.
Okay.
And say that this is what chlorine's half-life is. This is what chlorine shelf life is. They have about 15 things they claim they are better than chlorine. But the simple question I ask is, Randy, I have absolute trust in the abilities of the scientists at CSIR and all of that.
Yes.
But again, we know the level of funding that they have and the access to information that they have.
Yeah, so
comparing them to the CDC of the US.
No, so my point is that, you know, and there's all the geopolitics of trade and all that. So sometimes I'm a bit careful about those things.
Sure.
But for CSIR, I don't know about this product.
And again,
I've never heard about it.
CSIR was shown the product when it came in as a disinfectant for cleaning.
Okay.
And CSIR passed it. EPA passed it.
Yes.
FDA passed it.
For purposes
of cleaning
agent.
As a cleaning agent. Okay. It does. You now taking that approval to say that it is fit.
But are you sure it's exactly the same approval they are taking, or they have actually gone back
the
to
Ghana
this?
Water, I've raised the issue. The Ghana Water Company should show us what approvals they've seen, because these are the documents available to me. Because Randy, this information has been with me for the past 7 weeks, and I've been taking my time to clarify, to be sure. That's why as soon as you ask, have they gotten any certification, I've been able to show you where they've gone through.
So we will pursue the issue.
Yes.
I would also encourage that, because of how important this issue is, if you get in touch with Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
And
get Parliament to immediately...
Yes, as a priority, so that we can deal with this issue.
I'll try and see Mr. Speaker today.
This is a public health issue.
Sure.
Evo, you have some comments on this. Are you aware of this?
Not exactly, because just about 4 days ago, last week actually, I had a meeting with the MD to talk about Ghana Water. And you recall, I think that last week there were some challenges to do with water distribution. Apparently because following the spillage, some of their pipes were choked with grass and other things from the spillage. So they had shut down to fix them. And whilst they were fixing some of the stations. Other places also went down. I think that the Wager station went down, the Pong situation also went down. So it kind of created some general...
We really suffered.
Yes. So that, and according to the MD, who was hands-on seeking to get the situation resolved, says that was the first time they've had, stations go down the way they had gone. And so, but they've turned around and we're flowing, I think, relatively okay now. But in that conversation, this chlorine conversation didn't come out. And but whilst Sam was busy trying to create panic, I reached out and found out that it is not true that they are seeking to move away from the use of chlorine. And so I think that by all means, Sam can raise the question in Parliament, but the clear answer I've got here is that it is not true, that they are switching away from chlorine.
No.
From
no, I'm not.
How can it is Richard Ahiagba we are talking about?
Unimpeachable source.
Yes.
Oh, Randy, it's Richard Ahiagba we are talking about.
But
for him to just wake up, and say I have information and holding his phone.
Just hold on.
Where is the message from?
Just hold on, Sam, hold on.
Is it not Richard Ahiagba we are talking about again?
Sam, hold on. You give us information available to you.
Yes.
And
hold on. Yes. We proceeded to have a conversation on the basis of your information.
You asked me where I got my information from.
You didn't give me your source. Yes, and I don't expect you, if you don't want to go ahead and give me the source. But hold on.
Oh no,
let me drink some tea because
the guy has manufactured something, right? I see you drink it here.
So Richard, you are saying that you did your checks.
Yes.
From official sources. You don't need to give me the name of a person if you don't want to.
Yes.
From official sources.
Yes.
And official sources say that it is not true that they are replacing chlorine
with any other product that he's talking about.
So it is not true.
Yes.
So we are sticking with chlorine.
Yes. Now, if Sam, because he was doing some other things and got distracted, but if he can infer from my initial conversation.
Yeah, I can. Yes.
So I'm not sure.
Without him saying exactly what it is.
You can infer. And you see, so it's okay.
Randy,
but the point is that...
Like you advised, I'll get...
His source is Engineer Brahma.
But the point I'm making is that... that doesn't stop him from raising the question in Parliament.
Yeah.
So, and this one is
I think that why I even raised the issue of... And of course, we will do the follow-up. I'm sure that... my news editor and the other guys are even following up on it now to get a Ghana Water Company to speak to
the matter.
Yes.
And so that was my next point I was going to make, that having gotten this preliminary information about that not being the case, the information is out there because we're all concerned, and it's important that we understand. Now, they have the operating prerogative to want to switch or do ABCD based on their search. And Dr. Brahma himself is not a practitioner in that field, right? He's
an engineer.
Yes, an engineer with a PhD in that space. So making such decision consideration by the board to switch to do ABCD, you would expect that due diligence is done, that effective consideration has been given to the health implication on Ghanaians, and that the kind of chemical they probably, if they are switching, would be a better option for Ghana, and all the boxes will be checked before that decision is arrived at. So it will not be an arbitrary situation the way Sam is trying to make it look like, that somebody got up and say that. No, but it's a structure. It goes through processes. And so therefore, whilst you and I are sleeping at home, others have a business of thinking about what water comes to our home. Now, if we have a view about that which is not acceptable to us, you also have avenue in Parliament to raise it so that we can check the system. But the information available to us now is to say that the suggestion you are making of whatever chemical is not true, that Ghana Water is going to be switching away from chlorine. That does not disregard what you said. It does not say you are lying.
Will they be using its
You know,
side by side.
Interesting days ahead in this town.
No, but oh no. See,
So my question is clear.
Yeah.
Your answer, your response was that they are not replacing chlorine because some judge said that we are replacing.
What's the name of the chemical you're talking about?
The product is called
one drop. We don't know what the active ingredients are.
All right.
Okay. Now he says they are replacing it. You say that your source has confirmed that they are not replacing.
Yes.
I understand that answer.
Right.
My question is that, is it a product that they intend using alongside chlorine?
Well, that we'll find out based on your information and further checks.
Because you know that the answer they gave you does not answer the question of whether they have plans of using it at all.
Right. But then the clear answer is that they are not going to switch away from chlorine. And so
side by side, we need to know who will use that one, who will get the chlorine one.
No. But you know,
I was going to mention a place where they should start from. There's a funeral coming up from there.
Randy, this morning you are mischievous. My mom and dad are not happy with the way you introduced me. So.
But you know,
I'm sorry.
They actually tell you they don't like it.
Apologies. I'm sorry.
This morning Randy is on a different level.
I tell you, but this the side by side thing is what I'm trying to reconcile because I thought we're on equal footing to say that yes, it's not true. So let's get further clarification from them.
As we're dribbling, we have seen dribblers in this country. So immediately that answer comes when a categorical allegation has been made.
Yeah.
And you see an answer that is tailor-made for that question. It leaves opportunities on the side. That's what I'm covering.
Oh no, because I mean,
I think this is a serious. I have seen. You see. I have seen write-ups, some sent to me about this particular issue. You understand me?
Yeah.
And I don't know, but for some reason, I have not proceeded to interrogating the issue. You understand me? But now that Sam has raised it, that's why I think that we ought to elevate the discourse.
Yeah.
Is this something the Ghana Water Company is considering? If they are considering it, why? Have they started going through any processes? We need to know.
Yeah.
You know, especially when we know that the product has been certified for use in Ghana and it is in Ghana. Because I just got something which says that Annie sent me this, introducing One Drop products, 100% chlorine-free water disinfectant that creates clean drinking water designed for personal use on the go, as well as commercial water treatment, and our alcohol-free sanitizer for hands, utensils, surfaces, and even medical equipment.
Yeah.
This is what Annie sent to me.
Right.
So, and that is from their own website. That's how they describe their product.
The One Drop.
The One Drop. Yes.
So of course,
she sent me a onedrop.africa, but I'm unable to reach the site. I keep clicking.
It's not being used in any part of Europe or the West. It's only being deployed in Africa.
No, but the point is that so now we are clear that based on the response we have, that's not the case.
Sorry, just 1 minute. And because you asked what the active ingredients are, the active ingredients include it's a natural saturated ionic aqueous solution containing minerals including copper, zinc, silver, aluminium, and gold. That's what the composition of the product is.
Are you crying? You studied some engineering?
I did some water engineering, yeah.
Okay.
So the point I am making is that given that they've indicated they are not.
You want us to try it at K2 North?
But once it's approved for use, then it should be tried everywhere.
Oh no! Let's pilot it in your hometown and then where the funeral is happening.
Engineer Brahma is from Tamale.
No.
Where?
It's from it's both northern region and Savannah.
Savannah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But the point, I refuse to answer any question.
It's a serious matter, Richard.
But you know,
but let's interrogate.
Yeah.
I think that this is a public health, public policy, public health matter, and I think that we need to get in the professionals.
Exactly.
Get involved in these issues,
Yes.
so that we are clear in our minds.
That's what we
Exactly. And the point is that Sam raising it is okay, right? And the only bit that I think he was trying to be alarmist about it is that this is not going to happen without people like him who have requisite understanding of those chemicals and how they are supposed to be applied, and the systems we have to check the appropriateness for use in the country would not be involved in that. That process will be involved. People will be involved in that process.
Very well.
Now, the idea that it's not being used in the West should not be our standard necessarily, right? If we certify that something is good for us, our men, our experts, our people here can approve something for our use, not because it's used in the West. It's because we find it useful for us. We cannot be setting our standards by them. And so that aspect of it should not be material in the conversation. It is to be done where our people certify that it is safe for our use, it is proper, and it is, for whatever reason, what we should be using. And that should be a fair assessment of the matter. And I think that we should proceed from that.
Okay. All right. Okay. So we'll take it.
We'll do further
and see how it goes. But Richard, I want you to help me understand something. Okay. So let's watch this.
So the police have taken the electoral officer who was caught with some ballot papers of Ajia Abibata. Hi, confusing the law. Oh, sorry, Yaba. Yendi constituency. Ballot papers.
$99. It's 495 out of the total vote of 785. So clearly, based on this resource and based on this ballot that has been counted by EC and the ridiculous attitude that has been shown by the other partner or the unknown person who came and destroyed everything, which the police people are on course to investigate, and the person will be arrested and come to book. So the EC has we didn't even find the EC. All the ECs have run away. Look at the time. We have waited till 6 now. We didn't see EC because the EC has been beaten mercilessly. One of the eyes of the EC has spoiled. So, and therefore, based on this result that we had, and countered by the EC, we have declared Alhaji Faruku the new patriotic party, led by Alhaji Masaudu Osman, the national third vice chairman, with the regional chairman, Chairman Samba. We have stand by our national secretariat, which is led by our General Secretary Justin Frimpong Kodia, and declare Alhaji Farouk as the parliamentary candidate elect. 199. It's 495 out of the total vote of 785. So clearly, based on this resource and based on this ballot that has been counted by EC and the ridiculous attitude that has been shown by the other partner or the unknown person who came and destroyed everything, which the police people are on course to investigate, and the person will be arrested and come to book. So the EC has, we didn't even find the EC. All the ECs have run away. Look at the time. We have waited till 6 now. We didn't see EC because the EC has been beaten mercilessly. One of the eyes of the EC has spoiled. So, and therefore, based on this result that we had, encountered by the EC, we have declared Alhaji Faruku the new patriotic party, led by Alhaji Masaudu Osman, the national third vice chairman, with the regional chairman, Chairman Samba. We have stand by our national secretariat, which is led by our General Secretary Justin Frimpong Kodia, and declare Alhaji Farouk as the parliamentary candidate elect.
99. National Communications Officer, National Communications Director. This is the Yendi Declaration of January 27, 2024. Right. What did he say? They played it 3 times. What did the man say? What did he say?
Well, I think that he was trying to recount for us the issues that happened apparently after voting, counting, sorting was done, and then the ballots started being counted. And there was some disruption from what we all understand.
So which numbers was he mentioning?
I think the number. I didn't quite get the numbers, but the issue practically is that Yendi's election is in a limbo right now.
But he said that he's standing in the name of some regional distinct. You mentioned your general secretary and whatever, and made a declaration.
Yeah. I mean, per regular order, I think that it will be the EC, and that's the standard we expect.
So the EC has run away.
Yeah, but then the EC is not run away from Ghana, but the EC will have to declare that election. In my view, I think that leadership is looking at the matter. So the difficulty is that we're not sure because the process did not terminate, right? The election closed, ballots sorted, they ought to be counted, noted, and people, agents signed, and then the EC declares the outcome of the election. That didn't quite happen. The unfortunate disruption is something that needs to be looked at. I'm sure the police is involved in trying to find out those who disrupted it. And if anything at all, if that election has to be retaken again, because I don't know, the ballots were destroyed.
Who will do the flash screens again?
I don't know about flash screens. I know about the election needing to
Randy,
be
don't
done.
you have the video? That one have the video. I can share with your production.
So I mean, when something is internal matter, you listen. You don't participate.
It's a private issue.
I'm not saying participate. Just listen.
It's Darren Annie, not me. Let me, I'm sitting here. So, and I've not called for any video. Anything that comes is not me.
Well, but I just said I don't know about any flash screen. And in this environment.
No, because he said there will be a rerun. That's what I was asking.
Yeah, so I'm saying that no, because right now, how do you pursue clarity in this matter?
Especially when the EC has issued a statement.
Exactly. And they disassociate themselves from the announcement because, per their view, the process did not terminate, which by and large, if you look at it, you can agree.
But has the party issued a statement on this matter?
Not yet. As I indicated,
Why?
the party is dealing with the matter. Until there is some handle on it, I don't think that will be issuing statement, but then there's some work being done on that. And the appropriate time, what decision the party arrives at will be communicated. But the key thing for me is that the police should be interested in this matter. Those individuals who disrupted the process, because this is going to be cost again to the party. The individuals who came there, the party had to support them with their transportation to be able to come do the voting. The entire process was funded. Okay, so that's some waste to public expenditure. And I think that the police must take keen interest in dealing with those individuals to serve as an example for copycats who might want to repeat and learn from that. But from my understanding, that declaration cannot stand because that's not what is expected.
Why didn't the party issue a statement, especially when the National Executive and the General Secretary have been mentioned as being the authority upon which the declaration was being made?
Well, I mean, it's a moot point because you can't mention the president's name to commit an illegality and think it will stand. Everybody knows that that cannot stand. And so, for the way I see it, we as a party of democracy or people who are Democrats, I think that we are not going to have to accept a process that is contrary to regular order. So my position is that once leadership addresses the matter and takes a position, the way forward will be announced, and then what ought to be done in Yendi would be properly communicated to the public. But what we have now, I can tell you that that election is in limbo. We cannot say it's a conclusive election because we didn't have the EC terminate the process. Because you know, one thing that the National Executive has done very well, National Chairman and General Secretary insisted on is to ensure that the party cede the management of the election to the police and the Electoral Commission. Police providing security and the EC superintending the process. So there cannot be any point in time, given that express directive, for us to, usurp that position that we have given to the EC to manage the process and give us the result. In essence, the EC takes over the process, manages it, see it through, including the counting and the announcement. All we expect from them at the end of the day is a candidate that they, through their process, have arrived at for us. So until the EC arrives at a candidate, any other person's determination, declaration, or any other process to say that is a candidate cannot be acceptable based on our own rules and directives that we have established as part of the electoral process. So I think that leadership in due course would communicate with all stakeholders in relation to what would happen in Yendi going forward.
Randy.
Mm-hmm. Do you understand what happened? What was said? Do you understand?
The ridiculous attitude of one of the parties is what I heard.
Okay.
Then I heard different sets of numbers being mentioned. I couldn't make the head and tail of it, but it reminded me of Jean Mensa trying to announce the 2020 election 6 different times with 6 different numbers. Say ECI has spoiled, it was beaten mercilessly. Randy, it was difficult watching and listening, and this is supposed to be the party of intellectuals. This is supposed to be the party of the Dankwabs and the Buzias and the Dombos, supposed to be the elite party, and this is how they declare results in their internal elections. I mean, this is an insult to our democracy. This is unacceptable. This having the regional chairman stand there to superintend over such disgraceful and disdainful behavior and attitude. I mean, the NPP has made it a penchant to denigrate the democracy of Ghana, because any democratic watcher across the world who watches this sore spectacle will think that this is what Ghana's democracy is all about. And the NPP owes us. I thought the first thing Richard was going to do was to apologize to the Ghanaian people on behalf of his party for this shameful disgrace. Randy, look, I've listened to a sister radio station, City FM's report of this. In fact, the counting was live on City FM. And so when Richard says that the police is looking for the perpetrators, the police does not...
Didn't say so. I said the police should take interest.
And I'm saying that, look, the police by now should have issued a statement
Well, I
with
don't work
a
for the
list.
police.
No, I'm not saying that that's your responsibility. That's what, Richard, that's what I'm doing. I'm not saying that's your responsibility. It's not the responsibility of you or your party to prosecute those or bring charges against those who disrupted the process. It's the duty of the Ghana Police Service. And that's what I'm saying. That the police, and I hope your party is not influencing the police. That's all I can hope. But the police should be allowed to do a job, and by now the police should have issued a statement. Because this was live on TV. The police should just talk to City TV. It was live on national TV when the whole disruption and the whole process went on. The City FM reporter who was covering the show for City TV, when the disruption happened, walked to Randy. I see the flat screen TVs. Richard said he had not seen the flat screen TVs. I see some flat screen TVs being shown. You know, branded. I mean, we'll come to that as a different issue. But whilst the City FM reporter was doing his report, the disruption happened live on national TV. He walked to the sitting member of parliament, Farouk Aliyu Mahama, to say, Honorable, what is going on? To give him an opportunity to share at least his position as sitting MP and a candidate in that election. What was that? And Farouk slapped him on national TV.
Well, I don't know if you saw that, because I have here a solicitor's letter dated 31st January 2024. And it's addressed to Mr. Mohammed Aminu Alabira, City FM TV reporter, Northern Region Tamale, Omni Media Limited. These are the operators of
City TV.
Yakubu Abdul Majid, Chairman, Ghana Journalists Association, Northern Region Tamale. Demand notice of intention to commence legal action against you. Says we act as solicitors for Honorable Farouk Aliyu Mahama, our client, and write to you this demand notice according to his instructions. Our client is a responsible married man and an astute and distinguished politician who has earned an enviable reputation for himself through hard work and sacrifices. Our client instructs us that in the 28th January 2024 online edition of the citynewsroom.com, an online portal of City FM/TV owned by Omni Media Limited, there's a publication of a story to the effect that our client slapped you, Mohammed Aminu Alabira, from behind whilst you were filing a story in a melee that ensued during the vote counting in the 27th January 2024 parliamentary primaries of the MPP in the Yendi constituency. Our instructions are that the said online publication captured you, Mohammed Aminu Alabira, saying, quote, "It was the MP, Farouk Aliyu Mahama, who slapped me, and his people kicked me and took my phone away. I was reporting on violence that was happening during the counting process. So I asked the MP why that was happening, and he got up and came and slapped me, and his people also started beating me up." Our instructions are that City Newsroom publish this information without cross-checking with our client to obtain his side of the story, as standard journalism practice requires. Our instructions are that on the same 28 January 2024, you, Yakubu Abdul Majid, claiming to be the chairman of the Northern Regional Branch of the GJA, in a press release did not only reproduce the falsehood perpetrated by Mr. Mohammed Aminu Alabira and his employer, but to the reading of the whole wide world, you made certain false statements to the fact that our client's conduct was shameful and barbaric and may cause the Ghana Police Service to effect arrest on our client, thus impugning criminality on our client. Our client instructs that, again, the Northern Regional Branch of the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation failed to reach out to him before its press release to ascertain, I'm sure it's GJA, not GBC, to ascertain from him the veracity or otherwise of the information churned out by its member, Mr. Mohammed Alabira, as standard journalism practice, etiquettes, and code of conduct require. Instructions are that if the City Newsroom or the Northern Regional Branch of the Ghana Journalists Association had contacted our client for his response before going public with a false publication, we would have realized that our client was nowhere near Mr. Mohammed Aminu Alabira and the ensuing melee. We have the instructions of our client to notify you that the information you published or caused to be published of our client, which you knew or ought to have known was false and yet deliberately published same to the whole world, gives rise to an action in damages for defamation for and on behalf of our client, as the facts contained in your statement are false and the said statement was made recklessly without any reasonable basis whatsoever. Our client informs us that as a result of publication of the fake and libelous information, his reputation has been lowered drastically among his peers and all those other persons who read the falsehood perpetrated against him by you and your media platforms. And as a result, right-thinking members of society look at him with disdain and as someone who is a barbaric politician and a criminal. Our client instructs that as a decent public servant, your false information that suggests he is barbaric has lowered the estimation that his wife and children, as well as his entire family and that of his wife's has for him. And instructions are that someone was aspiring to retain his position as Member of Parliament for the MPP for Yendi. So it goes on and on and on. So that's the solicitor's letter.
Fantastic.
That's a letter from
Farouk's solicitors.
Farouk's lawyers, yes.
I'm happy he's chosen to go to court. But
he's asking for a retraction
and
an apology.
And I'll be very shocked if City FM did a retraction because City FM carried this life, the assault life, on TV. In fact, the following day I listened to Bernard Avle interview the gentleman on the City Breakfast Show, and the gentleman even went further to give other reports, and that's why I said the police is key here. The gentleman claims that when the police managed to rescue him from the attack that was going on and put him in their vehicle along with the Electoral Commission officers, the MP, Farouk Mahama, led his people to stop the police vehicle from moving for almost an hour, and that the police had to call for military reinforcement. This was all said on national radio. And the police, when the police called for military
reinforcement... But this is the account of one person.
Yes, but Randy, and that's what I'm saying, that this can be verifiable, because don't forget, and that's a credit we must give to the IGP Dampare-led police administration, the use of body cams at almost all public events.
But did they have body cams?
That's what I'm saying. I want to believe, or I want to hope, that, and again, from the account of the journalist, he said there were policemen wearing those body cams. So we should also have, from the police intelligence unit, we should also have footage from their body cam. And those body cams, actually, what I know is that those body cams transmit in real time, not just pictures, but voice, to a central command. And that footage is backed up, because, Randy, they were at my primaries. I know what went on there. You understand me? And so, if the police have their body cams from Yendi, they would also have footage. The reporter claims that the commander called the military to come and escort them because they were overwhelmed. The military said they would not take instructions from him and that they needed an authorization from a superior. It took almost an hour before that authorization came. So the police were held hostage with the EC and the reporter. Then the military came. It was upon the arrival of the military that the road was cleared. The people allowed the people started running away. I wasn't there. I'm recounting the report of the journalist. Now they proceeded. The military escorted them to the police station, and it was I think the military came from Bimbila or so. When they arrived, they escorted them to the police station. Then it is again alleged by the journalist that Farouk and his team came there demanding for the declaration of the results. The journalist goes as far as saying that for him to leave Yendi, the military said they couldn't guarantee his safety if they left him. So they wanted to take him away. And he had spent 3 days doing pre-election coverage. So he told the military that I can't leave with you from the police station. My things are in the hotel. So the military actually escorted him to his hotel to pick up his items and take him out of Yendi. That's how bad this was. Now, per the account of the journalist.
Yes.
The Ghana Journalists Association in Tamale, in the northern region, has issued a similar statement. Randy, we must condemn in unequivocal terms any attack whatsoever on journalists. And I say this as a member of a party where political activists, you see, as party leadership, we must be quick and able to state it where it is wrong. All right. The same City FM, when there was an issue about Ododo recently in our Greater Accra Regional Office, and not when the people amongst themselves were fighting and someone attacked a female journalist of City FM, the NPP issued a statement. You issued a statement condemning the attack on the journalist at the NDC regional office. The NPP was quick to issue a statement. The NDC issued a statement condemning the action and asking the police to prosecute the perpetrators, and took the medical bill off the young lady, and actually sent a delegation, high-powered delegation, from our flag bearer's office and our national office to the management of Omni Media to express our profound and deepest regrets at what happened and assurances that steps have been taken to prevent it. It's been almost a week since a journalist was assaulted at your primaries. The NPP has not found it right to issue a statement condemning the attack on the journalist. The NPP has not found it right to call for the action of the police and prosecution of the persons involved in this. The NPP has not found it right to go and express their condolences and regrets with the management of Omni Media. What we see is that the NPP is quiet, and they say silence means consent. And now the NPP parliamentary candidate and MP for Yendi is threatening Omni Media.
No, he says that you say I personally did something.
Yes.
I did not do it.
And you are threatening them that if they don't withdraw what
no,
they
but if you say I personally did something and I didn't do, the letter does not address the issue of whether the journalist was assaulted or not. It says that
it does.
No,
it says that he was not present. And what was the claim? The claim was that you slapped me. Yes.
Yes. And it says
so that's violence.
It says I didn't do it. It says you claim I did it.
Yes.
I didn't do it. That statement that you made with a follow-up press conference, this is what it has done to my reputation.
Yes.
You should have cross-checked with me. You should have double-checked it as your ethics require. You didn't do that. And so I am asking you to retract and apologize.
Randy.
He's not saying that the journalist was not assaulted.
Randy,
he's not saying that what you are saying happened there.
No.
Randy,
I am not disputing what you are saying. But you see, there are two things I'm saying. You're referring to one. I didn't speak about Farouk as an individual. I've spoken about the NPP as a party.
Yes.
And I've juxtaposed it against what happened with the NDC as a party.
No, I get that.
Good. And I'm saying that the NPP as a party, whether it was Farouk or any other person who was a party supporter who attacked the journalist, Randy, bottom line, we must accept and admit that there was an attack of the journalist. The police have issued him a form. Fantastic. And I am saying, I don't expect Farouk to be the one to be apologizing to the journalist. I'm saying that the NPP, which was quick to issue a statement condemning the attack on the journalist at the NDC regional office, has been silent 6 days on this attack on a journalist. Does it mean that the NPP as a political party endorses the attack on Ghanaian journalists? This is the question I'm asking.
Okay. All right. So we need to take a break. However, very interesting developments this morning. We have Engineer Brahma, the Ghana Water Company Limited MD, on standby to speak with us.
I'm happy.
I'm told that the CTFM reporter is also on standby to speak with us. The Honorable Farouk Aliu Mahama is also trying to reach us. We'll be back shortly.
9-5 out of
Pascal is showing his boss the efficient new technology they've installed. She is pleased, but now she's asking, why is that still there? Pascal explains that he hired a security guard to protect the data shed. The boss is not so pleased anymore. If you haven't upgraded to cloud storage yet, it's time to get business done better with MTN Business.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ampedu.
Good afternoon, Mr. Hassan.
How is business doing?
My business is collapsing.
Why is your business collapsing?
I sold my products and services to my clients on credit, and my debtors are not paying their debts.
Have you heard of Rosic Consult Limited, a debt recovery company operating in all the 16 regions of Ghana?
Not at all.
Mr. Ampadu, all you need to do is to contact them on their customer service line. I recommend Rossi Consult Limited, a debt recovery company to financial institutions, businessmen and businesswomen, other companies, and also individuals. Rossi Consult has 98.4% debt recovery rate. We have professional debt recovery managers. You are assured of swift debt recovery. No recovery, no commission. For Rossi Consult Limited, no more write-offs. And we pre-finance the recovery ourselves.
We are back bringing you the latest lineup from Betway. Betway starts strong with their front two with Free Play Friday and Swipe Bet. In the middle, you've got all the control with Cash Out and Build a Bet. Plus, with Win Boost, you can boost your sports bets. At the back, they have Smart Picks and the Partial Daily Jackpot.
You always get way more with Betway.
These adverts have been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly. No under 18. Terms and conditions apply. Betway. Get way more.
Over 18 years in business, Appointed Time Printing Limited has delivered quality service to some of Ghana's well-known brands. With our equipment capacity, we are able to deliver 1,500 pieces of polo and t-shirts in 1 hour. This is only possible with us. For retailers and wholesalers, we offer for sale high-quality polo shirts and t-shirts in different colors at affordable prices. We have a one-stop shop for all creative designs and billboards, 3D signages, flexi banners, car branding, stickers and posters. Locate us at the old GNTC building near Swansea Shopping Arcade, Accra. Contact us on 0501 454165, 0501 454167. Connect with us on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook at Appointed Time GH. Appointed Time Printing Limited. Our printing is a
Enjoy the fruits of your labor, they say. But as humans, aging and physical infirmity stands our way of enjoying our mansions and homes. It often becomes challenging, if not impossible, to use our stairways day in, day out. With portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators, PVs, you are assured of unlimited enjoyment of your mansions and homes. It's a self-supported elevator for vertical movement of humans and goods at homes and offices. The original comes in 3 custom-made models with wheelchair accessibility. Call it luxury, but it's a necessary imperative for vertical mobility. Do not let aging or infirmity limit you. Get one for your easy vertical mobility at home. It's affordable and can be installed in just 3 days without modification to your existing building. It's however easier to incorporate it at the construction stage. We also have traditional Fuji elevators and escalators for your high-rise buildings and malls. Visit Lifts and Elevators Company Limited at Sakumono for your elevators nationwide. For free consultation to call or WhatsApp us on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators, the elevator people.
Star Assurance, your solid partner.
Mommy.
Michelle say, fe.
Different era, better result. Time has changed and time has brought Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Healthy gums, anti-cavity, fresher breath, and it whitens teeth. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Sankofa.
Yenchi. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste.
Happy smile.
This advert is FDA approved.
Hey, give it to me! Hey, man! Go! Stop! You know you guys, so continue.
Prepare yourself to unleash even more moolah by staking from 1 Ghana cedi to 350 Ghana cedis. And you could win 26 times your stake on the exciting new Pick 1 game from Game Park. Play by dialing *946# on all networks via our website or download the Game Park app on www.gameparkgames.com. Choose your Pick 1 number from 1 to 36. Place your stake and watch our live draws on Adum TV at 9 a.m., 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. daily.
Hey, live life like me with Game Park. Game Park, more moolah, more power.
This game is regulated by the National Lottery Authority, not for persons under 18. Play responsibly.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. Still with me on the show, I have Richard Ahiagba and Sam Nate George. What does wealth mean to you? Do you want to live like a tycoon? Remember, I've got the moolah, got the power. Ghana's newest lottery game draws live on Adum TV at 9 a.m., 12 noon, and 6 p.m. daily. Now pick up your phones, tablets, and computers and download the Game Park Games app on Play Store. You can also play on their website at www.gameparkgames.com or by dialing *946# on all networks. Just choose 4 numbers from 0 to 9. It's easy to play and easy to win. Charlie, make we play this game and make some moolah. Nobody beats our odds in Ghana. Game Park Games, more moolah, more power. This game is regulated by a National Lottery Authority and is not for persons under 18. Play responsibly. And Ayesoko, Betway's cash out just got way better. Enhanced early partial and auto cash out feature lets you cash your bets out early. Cash out a portion of your ongoing bets or even set your bets to cash out automatically. All this to give you way more control of every thrilling bet you place. Sign up today at betway.com.gh. Terms and conditions apply. This is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. It's not for persons under 18. Betway, get way more. And charcoal has essential medicinal properties that help remove toxins from our bodies. The natural absorptive property of charcoal helps to remove the bacteria that produces bad breath in the mouth, hence giving you a fresh breath. Kel Charcoal toothpaste has been formulated and produced under strict hygienic conditions with all the necessary production protocols and has been approved by the Food and Drugs Authority. Constant use of Kel Charcoal toothpaste gives you a good fresh breath, whiter teeth, reduces dental plaque, makes the gum healthy and strong, prevents cavity, upset stomach, hangover, and so on. Kel Charcoal toothpaste is recommended for adults and children from 6 years and above. Kel Charcoal toothpaste for white teeth and fresh breath all day long. This is another quality product from Samara Company Limited. Kel Charcoal toothpaste, happy smile. And Adonco Soft Drinks Beverages Limited brings to you Angel Cola, your key to enjoyment. Angel Orange for that special occasion. Angel Mango, Angel Peach, refresh your mood, and Angel Apple Lime. And so if you're ready for something refreshing, great tasting with excellent flavors, Angel Drinks produce vitality and maintain fluid in normal balance. Angel Drinks, refreshing, invigorating, and exciting. And they are produced by Adonco Soft Drinks Beverages Limited. Angel Drinks taste like our day, and they're recommended for all, including children. You can reach them on 0244-832286 and 050-7878-668. Terms and conditions apply. And if you're looking for that home in a serene environment around a Brie or a Cropon, you need to speak with Kingdom Home Real Estate because they provide quality but affordable housing facilities for sale. And they are just a 30-minute drive from Accra, and they provide a modern touch of comfort. High standard security service plus CCTV, standby generators, constant water supply and electricity. They are surrounded by lovely tourist sites such as the Brie Botanical Garden, Boti Falls, Safari Valley Resorts, etc. All you need to do is to pay 70% upfront and spread the remaining 30% over a 2-year period with no interest payment. You can locate the Brie properties close to the Brie Girls School and the Ekropon properties just after Latte Junction. You can reach them on 0559 761 144 or 0555 621 611, or check out their properties on their website www.kingdomhomerealestate.com, and you can also check out their Facebook page. Now, the first issue that we discussed here had to do with the alleged the move by Ghana Water Company Limited, the alleged move to replace chlorine with some other product for the purification or treatment of the water that Ghana Water Company Limited supplies us. We have the MD of the company, Engineer Clifford Brymer, join us via Zoom for us to clarify this issue. Good morning, Clifford.
Good morning, Randy.
How are you?
I'm doing well.
All right. So what's this whole thing about your outfit? When I say you, I mean the Ghana Water Company Limited, wanting to replace the time-tested chlorine with a product called One Drop with respect to the treatment of the water you supply to us in this country.
Oh, I see. I don't know where the information is coming from. And whoever has provided the information should go back and cross-check. Can visit Ghana Water Company. We have 90 systems that we treat water. We have not, and I have not approved any document that is supposed to change the disinfecting materials that we've been using since. Several years ago, and still now, businesses or businessmen come with alternative products. But before we can accept a product, it has to go through the tests of our systems and to be able to take care of the challenges that we have in our infrastructure and the nature of our customers. And so before we can even arrive in that direction, we cannot. And this particular chemical that you have mentioned, I am yet to even receive a document proposing to try something like that in Ghana Water Company. So if it is a businessman who is already preempting it, then some judge should be talking to the businessman to provide evidence of what they are talking about.
Now, Clifford, are you saying that the Ghana Water Company has not received any proposal as far as this particular product is concerned?
I have not received, even if it has been received at my secretariat, it has not been brought on my table. So if the person talking about it has sent a proposal to Ghana Water, then he should provide the received copy of the stamp from my office. We ask our business partners, when you are bringing a document to my office, have a duplicate. We will receive one, number it for my office, and then give you a stamped one, but it's a copy for you to use as evidence that you dropped this letter at the MD's office. So if they have that copy, it means that it has been dropped at my office, but I have still not seen such a document on my table. No. To even start talking about it or inviting them to come and even do a presentation, I have not.
So you're confirming to us that there is nothing about One Drop on your table. It is not up for discussion. It is not being considered at all.
Not at all. Not at all. So I don't even know who the business person is, which company is fronting it in Ghana, I don't know. So whoever is making those comments will have the will look at it.
All right. So thanks for the clarification. But before I let you go, about 4 weeks or so ago, some of us in Makra, I don't know other parts of the country, really had serious issues with water. Already for some of us who live around Chado, we get water twice a week. And this didn't come, and we didn't get any information from the Ghana Water Company, first of all, warning us about this. And two, sometimes I wake up at dawn and I see your vehicles driving in front of my house, reminding me to come and pay my bills and to avoid disconnection. Yet I didn't hear them telling me about any water shortage coming up and all that. What happened? What happened, and how come you didn't communicate to us?
I think this particular one maybe is 1 out of million, because we normally will prepare and announce. This is an emergency that occurred, and we made the announcement, but just that probably it was not far-reaching, and that we will accept, and next time we will not. We even had emergency meeting to look at why that happened, and then customers were not properly informed. And we have taken the measures to ensure that it doesn't occur. It's just the issues of the Akosombo spillage that brought a lot of weeds into the system. And because people farm along the Volta and other places, what happens is that nutrients get into the water, and then you can get plants growing in our water bodies. And so our intake was clogged. First, we noticed reduction in the inflow into the treatment plants, which also created some level of shortage in the customers' pipes. We hired divers to check what the problem was, only for us to realize that weeds had clogged the intake. So we thought it was an easy thing for us to treat. We had to remove the whole of the sieves down there. It took us a number of days. And unfortunately for us, during that period, which has never happened, one of the pumps at Ouija also gave way. So we had 2 emergencies that we needed to work on. Fortunately for us, as we said, we've normalized the operations. And once you shut your plants, even if you start the pumps immediately, it takes some time to fill in the empty pipes. And those who get the water first, we want to fill their containers. And so people far off our treatment plants normally have a delay in getting their water. And that's the issue that we were confronted with. But we can assure you it has been normalized, and we are not going to have that anymore.
Okay, so speaking about normalization, my neighbors not too far from me, Airport Hills, they also have had some complaints since October. I don't know if it's come to your attention. The estate, Airport Hills. Since October, there are some streets that don't have water. They used to have it once a week.
Later, but some of the region, I'm sure the region is dealing with it. It hasn't come to my attention. Okay. The region is capable of handling some of those issues. And the way the planning of our country is, it creates problems for the utilities, especially Ghana Water. Every business entity has a plan of expansion. But unfortunately for us in this country, people just build where they have plots. And so once they build, they come look at you and they request that you also supply them with water. And so you extend the water. So sometimes it creates a lot of problems when there are little challenges in the system. And so it's something that we have to be looking at as a country, so that the utilities and the town and country planning people and the city authorities will have to see to getting our cities planned properly, so that some of these issues are not brought up as emergencies. Because you will know, if you are supposed to send water to this particular area during production or during the design period, you draw your models accordingly, so that you are able to send water there, no matter the increase in the population there. But if people just dot their buildings across everywhere, it exerts some unnecessary pressure on the system. But we are doing our best to ensure that everybody gets water in Accra and across the country.
All right. The cost of your operations over the years has been seriously impacted negatively by Galamsey. What's the situation now? Is it getting better? Is it stabilized? Is it getting worse?
It flashes. Sometimes when the security agencies go, you see drops, but when they move, but this time what we are noticing is that early morning you start seeing higher turbidity level. And a signal is that probably overnight people were disturbing the water bodies. So it's something that we cannot say it has reduced, we cannot say it has increased, but so we still have the same challenges. And it's huge because when you treat water, the expectation is that the process losses will be about 5%. But this time we're doing between 35 and 50%. What it means is that if you take 100 liters of water, you are supposed to push 95 liters into the system. But this time we do about 65 to sometimes or 50, between 50 and 65 liters. Surely there's going to be shortage of the product going to the customers. So it's an issue, and it's not only the Galamsey, just the human activities within the catchment that are creating a lot of. If you go to Weja is not being affected by Galamsey downstream there, but human activities. So nitrogen is being discharged into, because farmers put fertilizer on their lands, and when there's rain, the runoff will push the water into our bodies. So it's not just Galamsey, a lot of human activities are taking place.
All right, okay. Engineer, just hold on a minute for Sam George, the Honorable Sam George. Yes,
Engineer, good morning, sir.
Hi, Honorable, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Senior. I just wanted to say that thanks for the clarity, and I wanted to thank you for the proactivity, because most times you don't have public officers respond. I will share whatever documentation I have with you, because some of the documentation points to the Ministry of Water and Sanitation. So I will share that with you as well, and let's see how well we can work to make sure that we protect the sanctity of public water. But once again, thanks for the proactivity in responding quickly to this. I'm grateful.
Oh, thank you very much. Radhi, across the world, there are different kinds of methods to disinfect the treated water. A lot of countries have stopped using chlorine. We are still using chlorine because of the type of customers we have and the nature of our infrastructure. And so we haven't gotten to that level. And people should understand that the Ministry of Sanitation and Water Resources is a supervising ministry. And so the implementing agency is Ghana Water. The Ghana Water Limited has a board. And so we operate in a way independently of ministry. When requests go to the ministry, they forward it to us to see the possibility, the suitability of whatever that the business people are requesting. And we then return our responses to the ministry. And so seeing a document from the ministry will not necessarily mean that Ghana Water Company is planning to do something. Somebody would have just written to the ministry for the ministry to suggest that, look, can there be a policy change? The ministry will write to us as the implemented agency to see the possibility. If we look at it and feel that it's not possible at this time, we'll write back to the ministry, and the ministry will write back to the people that it is not possible. So I'm sure it hasn't gotten to a level where we will get into a level of panic, because we haven't discussed it in a way. Thank you very much. But I'll be happy that Honorable shares the document with me, so that I can look at it and then see where it's coming from. And then I can give him an advice on that, whether it's going to be considered, not considered, or whatever that will be.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much for joining us on the show. I really appreciate that. Have a great day. All right. So we've had Brahma.
Yeah. So I think
yes.
So we are clear on the matter.
We have clarity on this.
Yes.
Okay.
And I think with what Sam was saying also, so what his documentation is seeing may be circulating around the ministry, which has not gotten to the agency itself yet to consider. I think that we're safe, and we should all be interested in the treatment of our water. And I thank Dr. Clifford for coming to shed light on the matter.
All right. Okay. I'm told that we have the Honorable Farouk Mahama, the MP for Yendi, joining us now via Zoom. Good morning, Honorable. Can you kindly unmute your can you hear me? Okay. I can't hear you. I'm sure that you can hear me, but I can hardly hear you.
Good morning.
Yes, I can hear you now. I can hear you now. Okay. How are you doing?
I'm very fine. Greetings from Yendi.
Anyway, so we saw your primaries. That's become the headline issue. I'm sure that the party would resolve the issue and all that. But I guess this morning the key thing has to do with the assault of the City FM reporter, the journalist, at that particular function. Now, you have been named personally and your supporters as those who led and perpetrated this violence on the journalist. I have on this program also read a solicitor's letter from your lawyers addressed to Omni Media, owners and operators of City FM and City TV, and then the GJ Northern Region chapter, and you claim your lawyers make the case on your behalf. They are instructed by you to say that you did not personally engage in that. You were nowhere around the place and all that. What really happened?
Thank you very much, my senior colleague, and good morning to your panelists, my colleague Sam George and party communication. First of all, it's a privilege to have given the opportunity to also tell you what really transpired. First of all, as a Democrat and as a party stalwart in this party, I believe that democracy is part of the party's rules. Competition is part of the NPP, and I'll always stand by any person who competes with me in this party. We had a very successful elections on a Saturday after 2 p.m. Sorting was done. And Mr. Randy, I believe you are a senior colleague, and having been in the political annals of this country, when they sort out every polling paper that is supposed to be counted, immediately before even starting counts, everybody knows what and who wins at that stage before even counting it's done. Immediately that was done, my sister, the CEO of Maslow, panicked and woke up, and they had to restrain her to sit down. And counting started, we started 100, we got to 200, we got to 96. Then the brother to Abiba Toshani Mama woke up, entered into the perimeter to question the EC on why the EC was holding the sister's ballot papers and trumpeting on it. And said, where is the evidence? Then it was established that it wasn't so. Quickly, he slapped and assaulted the EC officer with a swollen face and disrupted the process. By then, my 296 had been counted and established. The remaining one uncounted was more than 200, which was held and taken and whisked away by the Director of Elections and the police regional commander with myself to the police station. So I'm a bit surprised that my opponent's brother, who rather assaulted an EC officer who has made a police case and made a case against my Abibate's brother, has now turned to be the MP for Yendi, is the one who is being assaulting a journalist. There are more than 20 journalists who are in Yendi. How come one person alone is saying that the member of parliament has assaulted him? And it's a bit surprising. If you indeed you have that evidence, you could firstly go to the police station, report to the police. The police were there at the glare of the police commander, the regional commander, everybody was there. So how come that I would rather be the person attacking and slapping and assaulting a journalist? That's a very unfortunate situation, and it's a regrettable situation. And I want to plead with the journalist that he should be decorous and professional in whatever he's doing, because as a member of parliament, I would never engage in any media war with anybody, having known that the media is a partner for the development of this country, and I will never assault any media. It has not been part of me nor my upbringing. So it's unfortunate, and that is how come I triggered the legal action, because I have a name to protect and an image to protect, and I will not sit down for anybody to perpetuate lies about me.
Now, Farouk, are you suggesting that Mohammed Aminu Alabira, the said journalist, is a brother of your opponent in the election?
No, I said the brother to my opponent in the election rather started the disruption of the process by slapping and hurting the EC officer. And I asked, Randy, any winning candidate who is winning an election would not disrupt the process. Because when they counted my first 100, my first 200, my 96, and almost 200 and more in the hands of the returning officer to be counted, this brother to Abibata rather attacked the EC officer, slapped him, and they have made a case, and the EC has the report on that. And that created the problems. And I didn't even encounter with the Alabra, because Alabra was doing his work. And I have not even near Alabra because I was with the police commander, making sure that the uncounted ballot paper of mine, which is yet to be counted, in addition to the 296, are being counted at the police station. And even if it did that Alabra's assertion were right, the police officers were there, the commanders were there, they would have had evidence of that nature and even make a case immediately to that effect. So Alabra is not perpetuating the truth.
So Farouk, you're saying that you did not personally assault Alabira?
No.
Did you see Alabira being assaulted by your supporters?
It was a chaotic situation because my opponents, people, and my supporters were all having a tug of war. So obviously, you will not know what will happen. What I knew was that the police was trying to stop both two parties from clashing. And I was whisked away with the police commander, the EC officials, and the head EC official to the police station to count the remaining ballots of mine, which were not declared.
All right. So just hold on. I've just been alerted that we have Mohammed Aminu Alabira, who's made the allegations against you, and I'm told that we have him on. So just hold on. Let's bring him into the discussion. Good morning, Mohammed. Hello, Mohammed. Okay, so we're trying to connect to Mohammed Aminu Alabira, who's the City FM reporter who claims that he was assaulted by the MP for Yendi and his supporters. You've heard the MP says that it is not true. He never took part in any assault, and it was a chaotic situation. He could not have seen who assaulted him since he himself was whisked away. But we were unable to make that contact. Honorable, so your lawyers have written to both the GGA Northern Region and City FM, and you're asking them to retract and apologize.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Failure with which you would proceed to court.
Yes, because I have a name to protect and an integrity to protect and a family name to protect. I haven't been a politician who respects journalism and the professional it takes and the role it plays in Ghana's development. It's unfortunate and sad for anybody to just wake up and without no evidence or proof or share of evidence to say that as a member of parliament with a whole of aspirations and responsibility on me as a member of parliament for the traditional capital of Dagbel to be partaking in such activity and adding me to that allegation is a bit unfortunate. I need to clear my name and I would go to the last wire through the courts to make sure that the truth prevails.
Okay, so let's try for the last time. Good morning, Mohammed. Hello, Mohammed. Hello, Mohammed. Okay. I guess we'll leave it here. The Honorable Farouk Mahama, thanks for joining us and for stating your side of the story. If need be, we'll get back to you. Thank you very much. All right, so that's the
hello. Hello.
Yes, hello.
Hello.
Hello, is that Mohammed?
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm doing well, please.
Okay. I hope you're feeling much better now.
Your voice is far, please.
Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me clearly?
Yes, please.
I said, I hope you're feeling much better now.
Alhamdulillah, I am doing well.
Okay. Now tell us in a minute what happened to you.
Yes. Thank you so much. What actually happened was that on Saturday, when the MPP were having their parliamentary primary, I was in Yendi to report for my station. I was there 2 days before the election. That was on Thursday. Actually, before I went to Yendi, I was in communication with Honorable Farouk. I sent him a message that I was coming to the constituency to do constituency report before the voting day, which he acknowledged by saying, okay, I'll be available. So on Thursday, when I actually went to Yendi, I went to his house and met with him. He told me, give me 10 minutes. But I stood in his house for more than 3 hours. Finally, I said, no, this man is not ready to talk to me. And my time was going, so I left the house. And on Saturday, I was at the voting center to monitor what was going on. The voting was smooth till counting started. As soon as sorting and counting was started, my station called me live on Zoom. So all what was happening at the ground there was on City TV, live. So when the incident happened, a gentleman from behind the cordon area walked in and was accusing the Electoral Commission of something being in his pocket, that there is something in your pocket, something is in your pocket, please bring it out. And what was actually brought out, what I saw was the ink pad that he brought out from the packet. So the process became distorted. And nobody or council could not have continued because they started destroying ballots, chairs, and everything there. So I was just carrying all this in live on TV, on City TV. Then I saw Honorable Farouk walking towards the police, asking, where's the commander? Where's the commander? He should be held responsible. Why did you allow the gentleman to come into the podium? He's responsible. So the police officers blocked him on the way. So by then, because I was carrying it live, I wanted to give him an opportunity to explain to the world what was actually happening. Because by then, Abibata had left the scene when the incident started. So he was there. And Farouk is my classmate, my schoolmate at Tamasco. So I said I wanted to give him an opportunity to explain to the world what actually happened. So I just came with him with my camera on and said, okay, Honorable, please tell me what is happening, what is the matter? Then he just slapped me and kicked me. Then the police held me behind and his bodyguard, there is this local guy who always follow him. You will see it in the video that he just rushed, came and hold me in the hand. Where's the phone? Where's the phone? Then they took away my phone. He held me in the neck. It was the police that took me to their car. And in the car, I met the regional police commander, the divisional commander, the EC officer who was attacked, and the Yendi officer who is a lady. So I was there together with my cameraman. We were all in the car. So the car took us through the state, through to Kugana Palace, then to the Sababa Road. We passed the Yana Palace, coming to Yendi police station. Before we got there, Farouk had left the task again, came and broke the car at the police station there. He was the one standing just by the gate. So we shouldn't come down. So I was in the bus with the regional commander, the divisional commander. All of us were still in the bus. But we stood there for more than 1 hour. And Farouk and his people took us hostage at the center there. So it was the military that came with their sticks and they came to disperse the crowd. It was then that the bus moved to the police entrance, the police commander's office entrance. There, the commander got down, all of them all got down and marched straight to the police commander's office. Then I saw the regional secretary, the northern regional secretary of MPP, Professor Hudu, who came with Farouk and co, and they were moving to the police commander's office. So I just remained at the hall there. It was my camera guy, Ibrahim, who was following them to the office, and I called him, Ibrahim, you come back. So he came back, and we remained at the hall there. But then my motorbike, the one I used, was still at the voting center. So while still in the car, I gave my keys through the window to a colleague, Metro TV, your reporter, Alassane D. Baba. He went and brought my motorbike from the voting center to the police station for me. It was the Bimbilla military who came to assist them. They called me and said, oh, they are going home. They are going back to Bimbilla. So if I am ready, they will escort me home. And I said, oh, so I have been in Yendi for the past 3 days, and I was staying in a hotel. My bag and things are still there. They said, oh, actually, well, they will lead me to the place. So I gave my phone, my room camera, my room keys to a friend at Dasuma FM in Yendi and described my things to him. So he went and packed my things in my bag, brought it to me at the Yendi police station. There, the military took me to their car and they helped me home to Bimbilla. They brought me straight to Bimbilla. And the video that is shown, you see Odawa Farouk. He is the one in white with the cap. He was you see the first time, I was just standing in front of him, asking him, what is happening? Then he kicked me and slapped me. You see that he is still rushing to me. He was the one. For him to say, you see the officer with his hands on with the police jacket. That is the regional police crime officer. They were there. But this thing did not happen in the dark. And Farouk is sit there and say this. So I was trying to help him by giving him the opportunity to speak to the world that what is happening. Maybe he could have taken that opportunity to tell the world what actually happened. But for him to, start slapping me. You see him there. He's the one in white and cap. But this was what happened, sir.
Okay. Now, Mohammed, I'm sure that you are aware of the solicitor's letter from Honorable Farouk Aliyu Mahama denying what you claim happened and asking for a retraction and an apology. I'm sure you're aware of this. Hello, Mohammed. Can you hear me? Mohammed, can you hear me?
Yes, please. I am aware of that. Yesterday, one gentleman from the law firm, Bewa Chambers, he called to tell me that he was calling me from a high court. So I thought it was a high court bailiff who was calling me. Only for later, it was the law firm this thing that was calling me. That was what he said to me. He told me he was a bailiff from the high court. But he had a letter for me. I asked what was the content. He said, oh, it's an envelope. So he didn't also know the content. So I should come for it. So I called my people at City FM in Accra. They told me that, oh, it's just a letter, so go for it. So I told him that I am in Bimbilla now, but my cameraman is in Tamale, so I will direct him to go and give it to him. So later, it was my cameraman who delivered the letter to. So for now, I have not seen the letter, but I have seen it on social media, boss.
So what was your reaction to the letter? Mohammed, what's your reaction to the contents of the letter that you've seen? They're asking you to retract and apologize.
My reaction to the letter is that I am happy that Honorable Farouk says he is going to court. Please, I am ready to meet him in court. I will never, because I was assaulted, slapped and killed by him. And for him to rather say, I am lying. Yes, I will not apologize.
All right, Mohammed. So we'll leave it here, and then we'll see how things pan out. Just take great care of yourself. And thanks for joining us on the show. All right, so Honorable, I see you're still with us here. You've heard Mohammed. We've seen videos. In one of the videos, I see a person who looks like you in a white cap who makes a move towards him with a policeman. Was that you?
That is not me.
That's not you?
That's not me.
No, there are two people in white caps, not this one. The one behind
No,
you.
that is not me.
That's not you?
No.
Okay.
No, that's not me.
All right. Okay. Well, so you've heard him. He says,
I was wearing a smoke.
Okay.
I was wearing a smoke on that day, and I was wearing a smoke. It's unfortunate, but I leave it to the lawyers to handle. At the end of the day, the end will justify the means, because it's unfortunate that I would be able to attack a journalist for what purpose? He's done nothing to me. Okay. What would make me attack him? But as I said, we'll leave it. My lawyers will follow through, and at the end of the day, he'll prove his evidence that I really attacked him. If he has any evidence, the courts will decide, and we'll take it from there.
All right. So thanks, Honorable Farouk Mama, for joining us on the show. If there are any developments, we'll reach out to you again. Thank you very much. All right, gentlemen, we'll wrap up on this one. Let me hear your final words on this.
Well, I think that the key issue is that the election will have there's some resolution that must be brought by the party. And I've been aware of the General Secretary talking about the level of interest and then the seriousness the party will attach to dealing with or trying to resolve the issues flowing from the END election. So I think that in due course we'll have the clarity and what solution the party will devise to address the matter there. But I want to agree partly with some in saying that the issue with a journalist is a difficult one. If indeed there was any such mistreatment, it's not something that the party condones. It's not something that we support. It's not something that we would advise. And so it's most unfortunate that that has happened. If indeed it's proven that is the case, I want to say very clearly that I didn't know about the assault issue up until this morning when we're talking about it. I've just been preoccupied with the disruption of the electoral process, and I've not seen these videos that we're seeing in details. What video I've seen mostly was the declaration you played for us at the outset of this discussion. So it's most unfortunate, and learning about it now, that a journalist was mistreated, part of the process, seeking to inform Ghanaians about the happenings there is regrettable. And as the Director of Communication, I'll apologize if that indeed is the case to the journalist, and ask that the police were there. If anything untoward was done, they should exercise what power they are vested with to deal with it so that these things don't recur. I think that would be my comment.
Okay, so
Randy, for me, I would maintain the fact that I'm not surprised at what we've seen in the ND. It's the hallmark of the NPP. They've become a very violent party. Randy, yesterday marked the 5th anniversary of the Ayawaso West Wuogon by-elections. And yesterday,
I should have made
Randy,
him speak first.
when I woke up and saw my daughter, your niece, she's going on 4 years.
So she can be my niece too.
She's also your niece.
Okay.
I had tears in my eyes because, Randy, that beautiful girl would not have been born, because 5 years
if you had lost
yesterday,
your life,
I could have lost my life because of the violence of the NPP. I looked at my two sons and said,
I thought around all that time you were recuperating and you were not in a good health shape. Not though you were busy.
No, Randy.
Okay.
But Randy, you see, it's a very serious thing. And no, I'm not being dramatic. It is the fact that your party seems to celebrate violence.
No.
Because, Randy, when the president set up a commission on the Short Commission, the recommendations that were given, they said Mohammed Sulemana, who assaulted me, should be prosecuted. They said Double, who picked a weapon, should be prosecuted. The government came back with all of the lawyers, including President Akufo-Addo.
The white paper.
Yes, the white paper. In the white paper, what did the government say? The government said that I provoked the people. But in our law books, yes.
That's the provocation.
Oh, Randy, in our law books, provocation is not a defense for assault.
Yes.
So you cannot use provocation as the basis to say, because I provoked you, Richard, you will slap me. No. My provocation does not warrant you to assault me.
Unless the assault is in self-defense.
Exactly. And here, I don't see the guns. And Randy, forget about Sam George. I am worried about the 5 individuals the government agreed they will compensate. Ishao Yaro was on his way to Europe to go. He had been given a contract to come and play football in Europe as a breadwinner. He was shot in his leg. He's had 7 surgeries to fix the bone. He's bedridden now. The government has not paid him once. Richard, please. Richard, I want you to take this as a personal. No, Richard, I beg you.
Supposed to be
give me 1 minute.
Statement.
No, yes, Richard, give me, Richard, give me 1 minute. No, I'm appealing to Richard. I know you are Richard, listen to me. I know you, Richard. I am making an appeal to you. Richard, I know. Forget. No. I want this on national TV. I know you as a person. Forget your MPP colors. I know your heart. I need you to take up the compensation for Ishao Yaro.
Take off his shirt first.
Yes, take it off. And the compensation for Ishao Yaro, the compensation for Mohammed Seidu, who was hit with an axe by so-called national security persons and is bedridden for 5 years. Bedridden. These are people's fathers and sons. And you know what pains me? The people who the government was told to reprimand, Brian Champon, reprimand him. He's being awarded or rewarded. He's been rewarded with a cabinet ministerial position as Minister for Agri. Randy, I beg you, before you go to the video, because that's a clearer video. Randy, Colonel Opoku, yes, Colonel Opoku, who was supposed to be relieved of command position and reprimanded. Colonel Opoku has been promoted and made a brigadier general, a 1-star general. Azubu, who was supposed to be relieved of operational command. What has happened to Azubu? Azubu was the one who was in charge of operational command at National Security when they squeezed the balls of another journalist, Caleb Kuda. So I beg you, your government and your party must stop celebrating violence.
Okay.
And what has happened in Yendi, issue a statement today apologizing to Mohammed Alabira and condemning the actions of everybody involved. Because we don't live in a banana republic. And the MPP must stop celebrating violence and promoting people who celebrate violence. You have not been rewarded in your party because you are not a violent person. You become violent today, you will see where they will put you. Because Randy, when Colonel Opoku read violence, they made him a 1-star general.
Let me just give him a minute.
But you see, so Celia, I think I understand Sam's emotion when they talk about Yawaso, because personally
he was a victim.
Yes. But moving on from that, a lot of redress has happened.
That's not true. Moving on from that, you killed 8 Ghanaians in the 2020 election. Soldiers killed them. The president has not even said one word about 8 Ghanaians who died.
It's okay.
Yes, 8 Ghanaians were killed. The president has not uttered a word. And Randy, like I said yesterday, the pain we feel, we the victims of the president's violence, his children will feel it, and their grandchildren will feel it. I'm telling you.
I need to talk to Sam's primary school teacher to find out how he wrote his essays.
Why?
Because he's concluding and he's now starting new matters. How do you do that? In a matter where we have finished our communication, we are closing on a specific issue before. Now you have gone to raise the Chima, you have gone to raise Ayawa, so these are issues that have been thoroughly litigated, right? Now, the matter to do with the individuals who are maimed or have some difficulty, I recall Honorable Brian Champon's vetting, where he made personal commitment to say that, look, people who are in that category, he will take certain responsibility and things like that. I know that some effort is going toward that. I don't have full information. Sam doesn't have full information. So let's not assume that those people...
I spoke with them yesterday.
Okay.
I spoke with them yesterday. Nothing has been done.
Okay. Well, I don't know. You can say that. You can say that on air. But I'm saying that nothing like that is... I'm not seized with the information of that nature. But the truth of the matter is that any journalist in this country ought to be protected. There cannot be any justification for mistreating a journalist simply because he's doing their job. That cannot be. And in the full glare of the cameras and everything, if anything is seen to be done inappropriate, like I admitted earlier, Senior, I have not seen these videos up until now.
Are you seeing the videos of your member of parliament?
I've been only preoccupied with the declaration, the initial things that happened at the polling station. So I haven't seen this. But to say that the New Patriotic Party celebrates violence, that is entirely, completely not true. The history of this Fourth Republic, we know who the party is that abuses journalists. Some, we know that. And I don't want us to engage in that conversation because the record exists for that. Let's not be seeking to misinform people and paint the picture as though the New Patriotic Party is a party that is against the media. We are not, and our record says so. What has happened, we don't have the full fact, but what I'm saying that the police were there.
The police, metal plates in his head under your watch.
Sam, if you want us to get into it, there are lists of journalists.
Let's see how many journalists have been attacked.
Oh, yeah, see, that's not a matter. Of course, Thursday, let's come again. We'll come and discuss
violence against journalists.
Chief, when
you should reintroduce the program again.
when the NDC one occurred,
yes. No,
your party issued a statement.
Yeah.
Yes.
The information minister issued a statement. Then this has happened.
Yeah.
It was reported. The GJ has issued a statement. CTFM, that the minister and your party executives also listen to and watch TV and CTFM. They have discussed this thoroughly.
And now Metro is showing videos.
Now and there's not a one-liner on the issue.
No, but
when the thing happened with the NDC at Odododo, the Minister of Information issued a statement.
Yeah.
Your party issued a statement. You waded into it.
Yeah.
So how do you justify this?
I was going to request a song, but I bet you. I was going to say that we should end with chase these crazy bald heads out of town. But it will affect you.
But you see, the point of it is that I have said expressly, I haven't seen these videos, and honestly, quite haven't followed the discussion on City. But the truth I would tell you is that if this had come to our attention in the manner that is appearing, and from here I'll speak with the journalist in question to see exactly what the issues are. But it is not to conclude that the New Patriotic Party endorses anything.
All right, okay, let's go. I need to deal with some hope. So the Minerals Commission is up next. The Bank of Ghana is released some figures, although we're going to conclude on the challenges of local content and all that. We also have to deal with that data and what it means for now and the future. So thanks, gentlemen, for being here with me, and thanks to Engineer Clifford Brima, the Honorable Farouk Ali Mama, and our colleague journalist Mohammed of City FM and City TV for also joining us on the show. Up next, our conversation with the Minerals Commission.
Pascal is showing his boss the efficient new technology they've installed. She is pleased, but now she's asking, why is that still there? Pascal explains that he hired a security guard to protect the data shed. The boss is not so pleased anymore. If you haven't upgraded to cloud storage yet, it's time to get business done better with MTN Business.
Star Assurance, your solid partner.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. Time to find out what's happening in the extractive sector of the Republic of Ghana. But let me say a big happy birthday once again to Mr. Gerhard Edem Mensah, the journalist and PR guru. Happy birthday to you, and also a happy birthday to the NDC's candidate for the Guan constituency, Fred Agbanyo. You're 48 today. Happy 48th birthday to you. Today is also the birthday of Mrs. Charlotte Osei, the former chairperson of the Electoral Commission. Today, the 1st of February, is your birthday. Happy birthday to you, Madam Charlotte Osei. You look 40, eh? So happy birthday to you. Wish you the very, very best in all your endeavors. Martin, good morning.
Morning.
How are you?
I'm fine.
I know why you're fine.
Oh, you had the MD of water company.
Yes.
What did he say? That
Galamsey.
He realizes that
in the morning.
That so you see, they work overnight.
That's what you've been. That's the point you've been making.
Yes. Because of the effort of the security agency in clamping on them down. Right now, if you go to a typical Galamsey community, nothing is happening. They're just going about their business, etc. Typically around 11 a.m. then they start.
11 p.m.
Yeah, sorry, 11 p.m. 12 midnight. By 4 they are out.
Okay. So, but that then clearly tells you and the security agencies when to operate.
Yeah. So then they've also changed their tactics. Yes.
Okay.
To deal with that.
All right. So we're going to continue with the challenges as far as the local content policy is concerned. But a few days ago, I think it was on Monday, the Bank of Ghana released the figures. And for purposes of this program, it has to do with Ghana's total exports as at December 2023. Now, according to the Bank of Ghana, cocoa raked in $2.1 billion, which constitutes 13% of our total export proceeds. Oil or crude at $3.8 billion. That constitutes 23% of our export earnings. And gold, 7.6 billion. That's 46%. So our total export earnings at December 2023 was $16.6 billion. $16.6 billion. And gold gave us $7.6 billion. That constitutes 46%. So gold has stripped both crude oil, 3.8 billion, and cocoa, 2.1 billion. If you put cocoa and oil together, that gives you about 5.9 billion, which constitutes about 36% of our total export earnings. And gold alone is 46%, $7.6 billion out of the $16.6 billion dollars. Beyond the fact that gold is the biggest earner, what does this data tell us? What more does it tell us?
Only three things. Let me say that I don't know whether you've been following the price of cocoa on the world market.
No.
It's over 4,000 or so.
A ton?
Yes.
You've reached 4,000?
Yeah, I think 4,000. I've been seeing that over that. Record high.
Our production volumes have dropped.
Yeah, is it 600 or
yeah, we've dropped.
Less? So it tells you that if we have sustained the 1 million.
Yes. Maybe about 4 billion plus.
We could have done anything just around the crude oil value.
Yes, about that.
Oh, yeah. But Randy...
And they blame Galamsey partly for that.
Oh, they blame Galamsey, yes, to a large extent. But maybe give me 2 minutes before we circle back to the figures.
Right.
people are also ignoring the fact that even if you are blaming Galamsey, cocoa farming is no longer attractive to certain people. People are ignoring that. I'll be the first to admit, because I've had several engagements with the CEO of Cocoa Board. We talk about this a lot. So yes, I agree that yes, the devastation, because you see, I said in this studio that practically wherever there is cocoa, good is taking place. So I can understand that, I get that. He's right. If they say, look, Galamsey is part of the problem, I agree. But then during the national dialogue, I think 2 or so years ago, a chief woke up, I was there, in Ashanti region and said, we don't do Galamsey in my area here. Yet cocoa is no longer attractive to folks in the community. People got up, they were clapping. And then it set me thinking. So 2 things. Then they asked him why. He said, now people are cutting the cocoa for seasonal crops, doing maize and other stuff. Even people are doing coconut and all those things. So it tells you that beyond the issue of Galamsey, there is also the issue of, making it right for people to be able to do it. You understand what I'm getting? So why would people cut their cocoa and plant other crops in a community where mining is not taking place? How do you explain that? And it's not just one-off incident. Yeah. So there's more to. But I'll be the first to admit that Galamsey is also a factor. And then another question, apart from people marauding and then devastating cocoa farms. Okay, look at the major producing areas, Enchi and all those places. Let me ask you this question. Why will your grandfather sell his cocoa farm? Did you see that video? Why will your grandfather sell his cocoa farm? So here somebody will say, oh, maybe a whole year I do 3 bags. This is what I get. And then somebody comes to you and say, oh, Openiji, we are good, we are papers. And now they are next week. Then suddenly, a poor illiterate farmer is being given money that he will see in maybe 10 years. And then we say, wow, and they do that. Okay, so he's beginning to see money that perhaps in his lifetime he has not seen. Or he will have seen that in 20 years. Or if he's fortunate, his children. You understand that kind of thing? And then it's just been given to him. He's 70-something years. And look at the situation. So it's just a multiplicity of factors that is leading to the cocoa situation. So when you even, let's say, deal with the Galamsey situation, you may, what about those who are not doing it and say, now I'm going to plant some other crops? Yeah. So it's beyond what we are talking about. So let's get back to this. Randy, it is just a confirmation or a testimony to the fact that mining is our DNA. Last year, we did around a little over 6-something billion. So maybe 1 billion more. This is 7.6, and this is gold. They didn't mention the other minerals. Bauxite, manganese, and coal. Look at cocoa, 2.1, crude oil, 3.8. You add the 2, that's about 4.9. And then the percentage-wise gives you about 36%. Still 10% short of gold. What maybe they didn't add, but they give you the entire figure, is that small scale did about 1.1 million ounces. So the receipt from small scale is the same as cocoa. So you put aside large scale. Small scale alone can take care of cocoa.
So small scale, you're saying that small scale made
7.6 billion you have there is the entire production of gold. And that includes what is coming from small scale mining, both legal and illegal. That's a fact. And also, because you see, those that are produced illegally, they go through the official channel before they are exported. Some also are, smuggled. These are facts, so I will not belabor it. And roughly about a third or 30% of the gold production of Ghana comes from small scale. If 1.1 million ounces is anything to go by, this year they are projecting anything between 1.3 and 1.5. 1.1, an average price of 1,900. Even if I use 1,800, it's more than 2 billion or 2.1 billion for cocoa. Okay, so it tells you that if we tackle everything that is wrong with small-scale mining, it can basically solve the unemployment in the nearly 13 regions where this activity is taking place. That is a message. Okay, that is a message I want you to understand. So that is it. And then, if 7.6 billion is the total receipts, okay, you take out maybe 2 billion for small scale, you are left with 5.6 billion. A third of that goes into the discussion we've been having for the past 2-3 weeks, local content.
Why will you exclude small scale?
Oh, because small scale, they don't file local content.
So they are excluded.
Yeah, they are excluded because it's supposedly, by law, it's supposed to be done by Ghanaians. Yeah.
But if you have a situation where
maybe we have to start looking at.
Yeah, because if you have a situation where the objective, the rationale behind, you are a lawyer, so the spirit behind the local content thing. If you have small scale constituting between 20 to 30% of your receipts, and then you do not have local content in there, we could be shooting ourselves in the foot.
So 2 things. What we are now planning to do now is to really look at the local content aspect of small scale. So practically many of the fuel stations you find in the mining corridor, it is because of small scale. Mm-hmm. They are owned by small scale miners.
They own the filling stations?
Yes, many of them, or persons that are linked to that. Mm. And then I remember doing the ban. You meet people at Swami and they are complaining that now the work they've been doing, have come down. Why? Because they don't get to service machines. You understand? Because the machines are sent there for servicing. Kumasi, you don't have these things taking place in Accra. So it's very easy to move the machines to Kumasi for servicing, Swami. And then those artisanal workshops in areas like Takwa, Dunkwa, and all those things. So you will see somebody who has a shop. He's not a small-scale miner. He spends, and he has about 10 for maybe 7 workers. Even they take more. All he does under his shop is to be servicing the machines that are used by small-scale miners. Mm-hmm. So when we say we have about 3 million people depending on small-scale livelihood, that is a typical example I'm giving. So the gentleman who is providing repairs of all these machines in Takwa, in Bibiani, and Dunkwa, and all those things, the moment the small-scale thing is disturbed, he also disturbs his job. He will tell you that you have collapsed his business. So that is that. So maybe very soon we will need to do a study to look at the local content dimension of small scale.
Yeah.
How small scale is impact. We know the livelihoods, those who live on it. Okay, those who sell the food.
Because this small scale is raking about 2 billion.
Yes.
Then the supplies, goods and services alone can be about maybe 500, 600
We've
million.
not done that yet, but I've asked that they should give us a plan for us to start raking in that. So I think that is it. And then again, about 15% of the production, and that's about 432,358 ounces of gold. The domestic gold purchase program. So that means about 15% of the large-scale people sold, they sold gold worth about 15% to this Bank of Ghana thing. So you see our reserves going up. I think it's around 19 tons now. That's a lot of gold. So that is it. Again, maybe one more thing. So Randy, if you have $7.6 billion being the receipts last year, you take out small scale, 2 billion. So you are talking about 5.6 billion. And then you have a provision in local content, the subject matter that we've been discussing for a while now. We are saying that 60% of your receipts should run through the local banks. And then 60% of your insurance, because by law, all the mining, every asset at the mining site, including the workers, are supposed to be insured. So calculate 60% of 5.6 billion. That money is supposed to run through, let's say, Agricultural Development Bank, NIB, Car Bank. The Bank of Ghana.
That's about 3 billion.
Yes. So they have money to work with. So You see, these are some of the deliberate things we need to do. That, of course, we are doing to ensure that these things benefit us. Because of course, the other 40%, you can take it to EcoBank, ABSA. I don't know whether we still have Standard Chartered or any of these Nigerian banks. But at least, let's preserve 60% for Ghana Commercial Bank, Agricultural Development Bank, and co. That's how we grow our economy. You see, you cannot have Ghana Commercial Bank here, Agricultural Development Bank here, and then you want them to collapse. This as state institution. You and I are shareholders, and then we sit here. $3 billion is being given to EcoBank, ABSA, and all these foreign companies to go through. So yesterday was a deadline for them to submit their plans. I've seen them. A lot of them have submitted. A few have asked for a week or so extension to do so, and it's quite interesting.
How many companies are involved in large scale in Ghana?
In the case of Ghana, we don't distinguish between large scale and when we say large scale, it includes what we would describe as medium.
Yes.
We can have anything between 16 and 20 or more.
So how many companies do you deal with when it comes to local content? How many companies are on your radar?
We started with about 8. Now we are doing around 13. We're going to increase it to around 16. Okay. The new ones that are coming. So Cardinal, that will start this year, will definitely file a report for 2024. Newmont will now file another report to include their third mine and co. So the numbers are growing.
A small diversion, then we'll come back to this.
Okay.
In one of our previous discussions, I believe early last year, the issue of a medium scale category came up. And at that point, you were indifferent.
No, I was not different. I was not indifferent. I'm all for a medium scale. That is, and a lot of African countries have it, particularly the East African countries where I stayed and worked for like 5 years. So small scale, medium scale, and then large scale. And there were 2 schools of thought. Let's open it up so that people can bring in foreign capital. You understand that? And then...
but for the benefit of our audience, we have large scale, small scale.
Small scale is Ghanaian.
How will we describe medium scale?
So,
and who will be the players there? What will be the difference between large scale and medium scale, or small scale and medium scale?
So for now, under Ghana's law, you either small scale or large scale. But maybe for the purposes of our job, if you have the likes of Newmont doing, let's say, close to 600,000 ounces in Ahafo alone, and you have like Akroma Gold, Kibi Gold, okay, Narawa, doing anything between 5 and 20,000 ounces a year. They are medium for the purposes of our job. But in law, under Ghana's law, Narawa is large scale, Kibi Gold is large scale, Newmont is large scale. But you're talking about maybe 20,000 ounces a whole year or 30,000 a whole year. Whilst the likes of Newmont 2 operations like 1 million ounces, Takwa a little over 500,000, Asanko a little over 200. So we use the terminology medium and large scale based on production size and then maybe the size of the operation.
And could there also be some who are small scale but have demonstrated capacity?
Yes. So for example, a lot of the small scale mines in the north are underground. So you go to a place like Dakrupe, Savannah, where my minister comes from. They've now hit the water table.
Which is what?
They go underground. For now, the deepest mine is about 1 kilometer. That's Obuasi. Wasa will do twice that when they finish their expansion. So some of the small scale can even go 100 meters. Okay? But up to about 300, 200, they can no longer. You understand? Even beyond some depth, the gold is there. So you realize that the nature of the ore body, that's by way of location, and the kind of technology and health and safety concerns, that can no longer be a small-scale operation. So we have a few of them now applying to say that we want to bring in other partners so that we deploy modern technology and sink more money, and then so clearly that operation can no longer remain small scale, because the only thing is that they will abandon it, and when they abandon, somebody will apply it to operate it at a large scale. So when we are introducing medium scale, some of the things we'll do is that we can look at the depth of the ore body or the nature of the ore body. That's one. And then you can also have a group of small scale miners who will come together and say, look, I'm here, Randy is here, AC is here, what do you call it, John is here, Kwame is here. It's all contiguous. Looking at the nature of the ore body and then the geology, we've all come together so that the 25 acres, which is about 10 now, we want to now convert it into a medium scale mine. So they will become shareholders. Sometimes somebody will approach you and say, I want to buy all of you out and convert it into a large scale. So we can use the nature of the ore body or a group of small scale coming together where it is contiguous. Sometimes you can also use the level of mechanization. We have a lot of small scale mining companies now. They cannot operate at a small scale. Even the chief inspector of mines will not allow you, because they've gotten to a point where there are safety issues now. They could die. Ventilation is a problem. It requires more money now because underground is expensive. So all these criteria are there already. But when we went for the stakeholder, the small scale people tell us that they only support a medium scale provided we don't open it up for foreigners.
Okay.
That we should rather put in measures where a Ghanaian can
upgrade.
Hey, now MIF is there. So a few of them have approached MIF and say, look, we want to develop this into something bigger than small scale. Help us. And the discussions are interesting. They are willing to support. So the question they keep asking is that, why are you going to allow the Chinese or somebody who come from Canada or Europe to bring his money and take? Because when we even said, where we introduce a medium scale, the Ghanaian will still keep 60% minimum. Then the other 40% could be a foreigner who may have money. Then you bring his $10 or $20 million to come and sink the shaft or introduce those new level of mechanization. The small scale people opposed it. They say government rather should create an environment for them where they can also access money and do it themselves. And I think that's my position. I will not support opening medium scale to foreign participation.
So you support,
because there are Ghanaians who are now owning large scale mines.
So you support the creation of
a medium scale. That's not the argument.
However, you believe that it should be an opportunity for Ghanaians who've demonstrated a capacity, or who can demonstrate a capacity, with the support of either MIF or the financial institutions, to rather be given the opportunity to grow.
Yes, but if you ask me, as a policy, as government, we should make it a deliberate effort to grow our own. Other than that, you see, this old age century criticism that we are not betting for our minerals, this is also another window for it. Because you see, some small scale guys, some small scale guys who are running underground, they've gotten a place where technology is required. Maybe there are 4 or 5 contiguous blocks. You come and give them $1 million. That's a lot of money for them.
Yeah.
He will just go on retirement. Okay? They will just share. He will take it. Now a small scale miner, he takes $1 million. He can come and buy a flight in Cantonment. Okay? And then they give them about $3 or $4 million. They just vacate the place. They may be 60% shareholders. The Chinese or the Canadian will just bring his equipment, everything, do it. So my question is, I will not support opening up medium scale to foreign participation.
So there must be medium scale, but it must be restricted.
The argument for medium scale is settled.
Okay.
But then we should rather create an environment for Ghanaians to raise money to do it. So we're looking, for example, can't we create an opportunity for them to raise money on the stock exchange? Can't MIF come in? And so they've written papers on all those things. And recently they are even planning to support some small scale groups. The ones that are very well organized, have very good deposits, etc. But why should you allow a foreign company to bring $20, $50 million to come and develop something that can become $300-400 million worth, when you can just raise that money here? So it's also an area that MIF is getting into, where they are having discussion with some selected small scale groups that have a lot of good ore deposits to support them. But to open it up and bring the foreigners, no. Because Ghana Bauxite is now 100% state owned. Do you understand that? Yes.
State-owned.
Yes, the state has 20%, the Ghanaian has 80%.
Okay.
So if we can own large-scale, corporations or mines, why would we want the people to come in? Okay, because the foreigners will take over. You understand that? You go and give a Ghanaian some $1 million, that's a lot of money for him. When somebody will just bring some $10 million and develop something that will now become a $200 million dollar property. So the argument that we should have small scale, medium scale is settled. But if you ask me personally, unless maybe we go for the debate in parliament and all those things, and then they say, no, open it up. Randy, there's something I keep saying, and let me repeat it. Last week I mentioned it. You should not be fixated or, so obsessed with shareholding. It means nothing. It means nothing.
It is the value of the
It is the value. So again, Newmont is pumping nearly $1.5 billion. They will commission it next year, June. Okay? Running. The bitter truth or the hard truth is that I don't see them paying any corporate tax on $500 million. I'm talking about $500 million. Like maybe 5 years. Because that $1 billion is all capital allowances. They have to take that one out. You understand that? So you should rather be concerned about how much of the $1 billion can you preserve and protect for Ghanaian local supplies. That is the crux of the matter. So if they are not going to pay tax now, sometimes even 10 years, and then they are going to spend millions of dollars every year on supplies, on the procurement of goods and services, you want that one to go to foreigners? So that is why we are so crazy about local content, and then we are making deliberate efforts to ensure that as much as possible Ghanaians get into that space. So that is it. It's quite exciting, 7.6 billion. We are looking at roughly by the end of the reconciliation. I mean, the receipts you can get them, about 4 million ounces last year. The projection this year is about 5 million. Worst case scenario, we'll do 4.5 million ounces. The month ended yesterday, right? Today is 1st February, am I right?
Yes.
Yes. The average price of gold for the entire January is about 22,030. The cost of producing an ounce in Ghana is anything between 1,300 and 1,500. So this January has been very great for them. So if we're able to do a minimum of 4.5, the target is 5 million, 4.5, and we'll do an average of 2 billion. And that's about it. So we are expecting anything at the current price, give and take, even if you do 1,900 or 1,950, we are expecting anything between maybe $9 to $10 billion end of this year, if the price should stay like that, as receipt from gold. So it means that you could be talking about perhaps 55-60% of your receipts in 2024, next year by this time coming from gold alone. Now, I have not talked about $500 that will come on stream June next year. I have not mentioned Cardinal that will start pouring gold in November, but that will be just some small bit. The full year production will be 2025. So we are already heading to number 4, if not number 3. That's why I keep saying that 2025, 2026 will be exciting times in the mining industry in Ghana. Manganese will also start the construction of a refinery. You saw what has happened to bauxite. Last week, somebody has come in to do the refinery. And so very soon we'll start mining in the Ashanti area, Ninani, and then it will be followed with a refinery. So this is what I keep saying. In about maybe 2-3 years, we'll see a refinery. So the bauxite will now be mined and refined locally. In the same 2-3 years window, you will see a refinery being ready to refine manganese and turn them into manganese alloy. They will upgrade it. It's going to be good for the battery. And then you also see our lithium thing. So within a space of 2-3 years, you see lithium, you see manganese, you see bauxite being refined in Ghana. So that will address this century thing of things going out raw. So the policies are turning out good. They are looking very good. From 2025, 2026, particularly from 2026, you see a lot of value addition. So in about 4 or 5 years, at least a third to about half of our minerals will now be refined in Ghana. Then it will be benefiting this nation. We've not done this thing for a century. Ghana Manganese, 1916. 1916. Okay? And then the other mines that have been there. Bauxite, 1940. So how many years now? That's about 83 years. Raw. Why? No conscious effort was made. Sometimes we blame policies in the past. Like throughout the 70s, the mines were state-owned, and we ran them down. That's like the GEOX, okay? The various GEOX Distillery, Ghana Airways, they were all caught up in that thing. So I don't think we should get the state involved in these kind of things again. So that is that on the plan, how things are looking at for the next 5 years. So remember our first meeting, 5 areas, local content, push hard on it. Because the 33%, the figure will go up. Okay, so very soon, close about 40% of the entire receipt will be spent on goods and services. So the more you create an environment where many of these things are done by Ghanaians, that means that the money is staying here. We've done very well from 8 to 50 now. So local content is one. I mean, the figures, clearly, within this nearly a year or so that we've been having this education, it's dawned on everybody now that small scale is everything. Okay, we just have to tackle the environmental and social challenges of what is happening in the 13 regions. 2 billion receipts, it will go up. Very soon we'll be doing about 3 billion in small scale. We've got to deal with the use of mercury. Gold catcher, we need more. And then almighty, what I've been saying, geological investigation. We just approved about 1.5 million for geological survey to do more works in the Dunkwa area. So these are some of the things. So small scale, support for small scale, the entire small scale environment, local content, value addition. These are the 3 major areas. And also metal finance. Okay, local content, small scale, and then value addition. I've just given out what is going to happen in the next 2-3 years. And also making sure that as much as possible over time, we begin to raise a lot of the money to finance operations here. So the stock exchange thing. So what we are doing with MIF, and then what is in LI 2431. These are things we need to push. That's the local content law. Which says that they have to go to the stock exchange. We finish the framework now. Because Randy, this 1 billion, it is coming from outside. It will go back. So can you imagine if we start raising 200, 300, 400 million here? It will, I mean, Asante raised about 180 million locally, dollars. Okay, some in equity, some, to get gold in return. But I'll tell you something before you ask me a few other questions. Randy, the total exports of Ghana at the end of 2023, as you have just highlighted in the Bank of Ghana, is roughly the same amount of money Newmont took and bought Newcrest of Australia.
About 80
You listen carefully, I want to make a point. Newmont spent a little over $15 billion to go and acquire Newcrest of Australia. It's an Australian company. So they have become bigger. Even prior to that, they were the biggest producer of gold on earth. They still produce some lead, copper, and etc. But primarily it's a gold company. They've been around for like 100 years. 1925, they started trading on the New York Stock Exchange. But it was created in 1921. So you sit here, and then Bank of Ghana tells you that everything that left this country is 16.6 billion. Just around the same figure was just taken by Newmont to go and buy a company in Australia. And they have 3 operations here. You cannot just have an ordinary regulator. Your entire export as a nation is what a company operating 3 mines here, 2 now, but very soon 3, took, and within a space of 5 months, went and bought a company in Australia.
When is it took? You create the impression that they took the money from the operations.
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm trying to say is that whatever we struggle with as a nation, we took us a year to get. That is the kind of money Newmont raised. Newmont Corporation headquarters in America, and they have branches all over. And then they have operations in Africa, Australia, North America, They are in Canada, they are in Latin America, they are in Africa too. That's what they spend practically to go and buy Newcrest in Australia. You understand? So you can imagine the kind of technology and the quality of the skills they will deploy in Ahafo North, Ahafo South, and Achim. So I cannot sit here as Minerals Commission boss and also have an ordinary inspector. That's the argument I want to make. Because your entire receipt is what he used to buy a mine. So you cannot have an ordinary inspector of mine. So it means that Newmont spends millions of dollars to get the state-of-the-art operation in Ahafo. They develop an underground there. You understand? So an inspector at Minerals Commission, whether for metallurgy, that's the processing plant, whether mechanical, that is for machinery, whether for mining, you understand that? Whether for electrical, let me repeat, at worst, should be at par with the mining engineer or mechanical engineer at Newmont. So for us, there's nothing like Yenisika. You understand? And there's one thing I want to say. The government has pumped in a lot of money in Minerals Commission within the last 2 years. We took our budget to Parliament and they just approved it. They just asked us a few questions. You understand? Yes, because we need that kind of money to be able to train people and take them to some of the best. Other than that, Wasa, that will soon have a 2.5 kilometer deep underground mine. I mean, how do you expect a Minerals Commission engineer or electrical engineer to go down there? He will go there and he will be confused because he will be seeing things that he has never seen in his life. So you also need to take him to Australia. You need to take him to, South Africa to go and see the deep mines there. You need to let him go to US for further training. You understand that? So for us, there's nothing like mining. And I have to single out my minister for praise and my board because they appreciate this kind of thing. So if I need to take you to Australia, if I need you to take you to US for training, we have to do that. So take Australia, that produces half of the world's lithium. There's an Australian company about to develop lithium. We will also need to take our people to Australia to go and see what is going on there. So that is how far we have come as a regulator. I cannot speak for other sectors, but for me, that is the kind of thing that is turning at our place. The parliamentarians understand it so very well, the Committee on Mines and Energy. They ask, when you go, they ask you, how many engineers have we sent to some of these underground mines in the world to go and learn these new technology? We give them the data, we tell them everything, and they approve it for us. Because when they don't approve your budget, you cannot spend. So that is the situation that we have. Other than that, I think we can, unless you have any other question.
No, we would have to then try and wrap up on our challenges,
yes,
including parts. So there's an issue of delayed payments for services by mining companies. I mean, last week we dealt with the issue of high inflation rate, the exchange rate, interest rates. We dealt with lead time and delivery. And so I want us to look at the delayed payment for services. There are concerns about quality of certain locally produced goods, insufficient supplies for some mining items on the approved list, resulting in price non-competitiveness, and then the poor implementation report, including templates without narrations, information templates not consistent with narration, no breakdowns.
So the last four.
Yes.
That's a regular meeting we have with the mining companies and then the suppliers. So the suppliers and the service providers have been complaining to us. So in our recent meeting with the chamber, we raised it, that you ask these people to supply the goods. Sometimes they even have to import them because there are items on the list, even though they are not in Ghana. The rule is that give it to a Ghanaian. The companies complain, I say back off. Okay? So the Ghanaian struggles, he will do all these things. Maybe that time the CD is 11.5. Why are you going to take 3-4 months to pay them? So they've been complaining to us on the quiet, and sometimes they are scared because it's like they've come to report you. So maybe next time they won't give you the contract. So it's something I've been dealing with. And I tell the companies that, look, they should get these things addressed. Some of them, it's so interesting that they even have to send approval out to get it beyond a certain level, okay, before they get it. So,
are you thinking of enforcing some delay payment penalties or some interest?
It may be strange, but then if I get a report again, then we'll have to find a middle ground and then make a rule and say that, look, once the people supply, don't take more than a week to pay them. Penalties, no, but then we may have to introduce some rules because I also get worried. You see, in one breath, the companies come and complain and say, oh, the Ghanaian has delayed. What we asked him to supply in 2 weeks, he did it in 1 month. Okay? Then they're also saying that I've done the work, 3 months, you have not paid me. So I may have to. Because if I give them the chance to import, because the Ghanaian keeps defaulting or delaying, in the same way, you should be able to pay the Ghanaian within a week. So maybe in we do quarterly meetings. I'll just tell them that, look, I may be forced to, I'm here to receive any complaints for last year. But if I do that, then I may be forced to impose a rule and say that, look, within 1 week after the supply has ended, you should be able to pay the person.
Right. Concerns about quality.
Quality has improved, but still there are concerns. There are concerns, and I get embarrassed. Because then you see, it gives the company the chance to push Minerals Commission to allow them to import. So we've been talking to the...
What's the nature of some of the concerns? Maybe a couple of examples.
Oh, you supply a product, they put it in the plant, and then they have issues.
And their standards?
You see, there are standards, but sometimes, Randy, you have a watch seller, it's the finest, you all buy a watch there, but for some reason today, the fish is smelling. So it happens sometimes. I mean, even service provider as a nation, whether it's the power people or the water people. So there are times when, and then the difficulty is that where it is for the plant and things like that, you can really mess them up. They have to maybe shut down and change a whole lot of things. But in terms of quality, they've improved over the period. We are addressing this thing.
Insufficient
supplies for some mining items on the approved list resulting in price. Yes. So there is, and that's the difficulty I'm having. I would have been having about an 80 list items, but I don't want to create a monopoly. So if there are 2 companies who are Ghanaian supplying the thing, maybe I'll just say 30% or 40%. You do 100, those 2
don't have the capacity.
Yes, they may not have the capacity, or they may supply 10 mines, and then so.
Are there examples of some of these items?
Oh, yes. We normally see them in our report, so I cannot generalize. So sometimes you see something this year, next year you don't see it again, and so they are there. But you don't see it. The insufficient one is not a complaint for where there are about 10, 50 companies. It tends to be for where there are about 3 or 4 of them. Because you see, if I have 4 companies who can do it very well, I'll protect a certain percentage for them, maybe 30%. You understand that? So they may bring the other 60. Or some of the companies, even though 40% is protected for them, they will even do 80.
Is there
then the other 20, they'll be complaining.
Is there something that came to mind, and it has to do with the synergies, I mean, across ministries, departments, and agencies, because we're dealing with one national policy. So, for example, is there a relationship where if you identify an area like this, you could be able to then inform the sector responsible for that to say, hey, there is an opportunity here, there's a gap. Can you use policy to influence perhaps an upskill there to deal with this issue?
Oh, we started the National Supply Development Program. Randy, those things are not a problem, but the cost of production.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. So the manufacturing like this, we are very slow in protecting the area for Ghanaians. So you see someone like Wayo Engineering. Okay?
You always use that
Yes,
example.
because he's come far. He started small, and he has contact with practically every company. He does fabrication and all those things. And there are other ones too, like Harlequin and Co. But the question is that B5 Plus is Indian. I think on this Pampram road or whatever here, they've been here for ages. Should I get up and say because Wayo is good, Harlequin and all the other 3 or 4 are Ghanaians, they are very good, so no mining company should buy fabricated items from B5 Plus, unless you buy from companies whose shareholders and directors are Ghanaians. It will not be fair. Because in the area of manufacturing, our preoccupation is let the foreign companies come to Ghana and come and do it. You understand?
Shouldn't that be changing?
if there's anything I can do, let's say if there are about 10 Ghanaians doing fabrication, and there are about 2-3 companies that have established here. Because when you do that, then you're asking that the millions of dollars that B5 Plus have sunk into this country, they should leave and sell it. I mean, it's only a fool who will do that. Manufacturing company. Because once they are here, they will pay the taxes, they will do everything. So then you don't have to go and bring those items from Egypt or from Asia or China. So maybe what we can do, or what I'm looking at, but I have to be informed by the data. So I've asked one of the officers to do that. So let's say if you have 10 companies doing fabrication, 2 are foreign, and 8 are Ghanaians. I need to see, can I say that, look, without taking out this company, can I say, okay, when it comes to fabrication materials, give 60% to Ghanaians? Maybe you have to look at that.
Right.
But then if let's say B5 Plus, for example, can do 1 million tons, for the sake of argument, okay, that's their capacity. Why would you say maybe 80% should go to Ghanaian fabrication companies, and then instead of 1 million, he will start doing 800? Because your 1 million, the 1 million is his capacity. If you want to protect Ghanaians, that means that he has to now sell only 600,000 tons.
Maybe the other thing for him
that's not fair, because he has because you see, they also look at economies of scale.
Maybe the other thing is that he should also look at opening up for Ghanaian shareholding.
Yes, but Randy, we have done that for underground mining contract and underground drilling services. I'm even happy there's a Ghanaian who can now do underground, 100%. I mean, Westfield, that's a contract in Iduapim and Obuasi. But manufacturing, let's be very careful.
Okay.
The focus should be, they should come here and set up, give us jobs, pay taxes, etc. Because they are here for decades. Yeah. That is it. Right. The other ones you can protect from Ghanaians.
Let's do a final one. Poor implementation reports, including templates without narrations, information in templates not consistent with narration, no breakdowns.
So
I'm sure this is
so let me show you something. Okay. So maybe next week I'll discuss some of the because people are asking me, and I think you also raised it with me. They want to know how they prepare the 5-year procurement plan and what goes into it. So next week I'm not available. I'm out for a program. The other week when we come, we'll focus on how a typical procurement plan looks like, and then how they account for the percentages. But let me just read. This is to answer the last question. So if you look at the last question, and it's in a local content requirement, law and rule that, look, they should provide what do you call it, support to the supplier. So I've just opened that of a company that was sent yesterday. And if you look at it, he has indicated here, as part of his report, technical support, other support. So he's, for example, I'll read it, but I don't need to mention the company's name. But I can mention it because these things are public knowledge.
You can leave out.
Yes. So he says, Company X provides technical and commercial support to local suppliers to assist them in meeting the right specifications. I'm answering your question. Required by the mine suppliers. Suppliers are giving detailed information regarding specification, including technical drawings and extended clarification that may be required. Where necessary and upon request, suppliers are giving samples of products to assist in the development and identification of products. Then he has indicated all the suppliers, the names of the suppliers, and what he showed them with pictures. Because the last 2-3 years, this particular thing, we keep picking them in our reports or assessment. So we said, in your report for 2023, address this. So this is a typical report. And then it says other support. In addition to above, company has committed to providing procurement opportunities to local suppliers located within its host communities too, with the aim of boosting the local economy within the catchment communities. The following local companies were identified and given the following support. So it means that, so this is the report of a particular company. Okay, I mean, it's Goldfields, Takwa. Okay, they came with a tall schedule, what they did, pictures and everything. So that is it. But it's not 100% yet. So we have to keep, so I'm going to assess all the reports now for 2023 to see the extent to which you dealt with. Because that is a complaint of the suppliers. And we are not able to compete because they didn't show us the drawings. And so now, a typical company like GoFish, in their report they filed just yesterday, they are telling us that I did this, I did this, I did this. And then they've given us a list of the suppliers.
Have you created a template for them to follow?
Yes.
Okay.
They have all these.
All right. Okay. So Sio.
So, Randy, a lot is happening.
Yeah.
A lot. So, I don't know how, I don't know, maybe before we started this a year ago, I don't know whether I'm going to force you to confess. Perhaps you also had that impression that, they are in some bush somewhere, they pay small royalty, they take everything raw, and then they devastate the environment, and then the regulators even are not too hard on them. You see, that is the ordinary perception. But I don't know, maybe you have to summarize for me how this has changed your focus.
Well, as far as large scale is concerned, I think that
a lot.
Yeah, we're getting.
There's more to the mining we see.
Yeah.
The problem, the elephant in that room of Ghana is small
scale. All right. So thanks for joining me, and we'll have our discussion in the next edition. But thank you once again for joining us on the show. Up next, Metro Sports.
Is brought to you by MTN.
The Bible is not a textbook like chemistry textbook. It's a spirit. There are no controversies. Righteousness is defined by God. What he says you are is what you are. There's no teaching in the scriptures that will be left untaught.